Your winner is a dreamer who never gives up. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to you all for Ministry of Education IIC funded Impact Lecture program on IPR Innovation and Sustainability organized by Institutions Innovation Council in association with IPR Cell of Congo Arts and Science College, Autonomous Europe. God speaks in the silence of the heart. Listening is the beginning of a prayer. We invite Priyadashni, Hari Amrita, Munisha for prayer song.
ஐந்து கரத்தினை யானை முகத்தினை நிலம் விரை போலும் மெய்ற்றினை நந்தி மகந்தினை ஞான கொழுந்தி பந்தியில் வைத்தடி போற்றுகின்றேனே புந்தியில் வைத்தடி போற்றுகின்றேனே புந்தியில் வைத்தடி போற்றுகின்றேனே.
Small cheers and a great welcome makes a merry feast. Now I call upon Dr. J. Gayatri Ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science, PG, to deliver a welcome address to the gathering.
Good morning, all. I express my warm wishes to one and all present in this virtual meet on behalf of Congo Arts and Science College and autonomous institution situated at Erode, Tamil Nadu, run by KVIT Trust, Perundurai. Respected correspondent and principal and chief guest, committed faculty members and dear students, good morning to all. We, Congo Arts and Science College, Intellectual Property Rights Cell and Institution Innovation Council have been jointly organized this Impact Lecture Series 2 on IPR Innovation and Sustainability. This program has been sponsored by Ministry of Education Innovation Cell and All India Council for Technical Education. In this regard, I extend our gratitude to MOE Innovation Cell for selecting our college to conduct this lecture series, which is the leverage for the innovation minds of our faculty members and young students. Now, I would like to welcome today's session one resource person, Dr. Jury Barbaro Saikia, research officer from Tezpur University, Assam, who has accepted our invitation and consented to deliver a speech on role of IPR in research and innovation. In this Impact Lecture Series 2, I welcome you, Madam. Following, I would like to welcome today's session 2 resource person, Dr. Tyagarajan, HOD, EEE R&D Head and Associate Professor, Christ College of Engineering and Technology, Puducherry, who has given his cordial acceptance to deliver a speech on IPR sensitization to innovation in this Impact Lecture Series 2. I welcome you, sir. It's my privilege to welcome our respected correspondent, Thiru K. Palaniswamy Abarhal, who always motivates us to enrich our thoughtful mind with intellectual advances to achieving social aspirations and cultural and technical needs of the society. I welcome you, sir. I'm happy to welcome our respected principal, Dr. N. Raman, a determined and dedicated person who is the supporter and motivator of all our activities for reaching national heritage and values. I welcome you, sir. It's my immense pleasure to welcome our faculty members and dear students for eagerly waiting to enhance their knowledge on IPR from the oration of our resource persons. I welcome you all. I extend my warm welcome to the IPR cell members, IIC coordinators who are the execution wings of this program. Welcome coordinators and the members. Once again, I welcome you all to this lecture series 2 on IPR innovation and sustainability. My great applause to today's and tomorrow's innovators. Have a good day. Thank you.
What I do and what I want to do is I want to bring art into everyday's life. I call upon Dr. N. Bhatta Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Costume Design and Fashion, to give a brief note on our today's speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of the IPR cell at Congo Arts and Science College, it's a moment of great pleasure in inviting our resource person and introducing her, Dr. Judy Borbora Sakya, for the Impact Lecture session on IPR innovation and sustainability. Dr. Judy Borbora Sakya got his graduation in science and has obtained her postgraduate and PhD degrees from Tezpur University. She also holds a postgraduate diploma in IPR laws from the National Law School of India University, Bangalore. After working in IIT Guwahati,
Radhika ma'am, you are not audible clearly.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible now, ma'am?
Yes, now you proceed, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Sorry for the interruption. Dr. Judy Borbora Sakya got his graduation in science and has obtained her postgraduate and PhD degrees from Tezpur University. She also holds a postgraduate diploma in IPR laws from the National Law School of India University, Bangalore. After working in IIT Guwahati as Senior Research Fellow from 2009 to 2011, she joined the prestigious MHRD Chair on IPR in Tezpur University as Research Officer in 2011. Since then, she keeps herself actively involved in various IPR-related activities that include organizing various in-house and outreach programs. She is also associated with conducting interdisciplinary course on IPR for the undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD students of Tezpur University. Besides these, she, along with her team at TU IPR Cell, works for providing IPR assistance to the TU fraternity as well as the grassroots innovators. Facilitating good innovation towards protectable IPs is one of the important jobs she loves working for. With such a great profile, on behalf of the IPR Cell, we feel honored to welcome her to the first technical session on role of IPR in research and innovation. Over to you, ma'am, to present the session.
Thank you for such a warm welcome, and thanks for introducing me. This is a very relevant subject. I'm happy that your college has taken up at the right time. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Audible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. A lot of background noise is coming, actually. That's why I'm a little bit.
We'll check, ma'am.
Yeah.
Participants, kindly mute your audio. Naveen Kumar,
Yes, ma'am.
mute your audio, please. All the participants, kindly mute your audio. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can proceed now, ma'am.
Okay,
Sorry for the
thank you.
interruption.
No issues. I will share my screen and then I'll proceed. Just let me know if you can see my screen.
Not yet visible, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is
Started
it
screening.
visible?
It started screening, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Just wait, ma'am. Let's see. Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay.
Kindly make it in the presentation mode, ma'am, please.
Yes, yes. Okay. Before I start my presentation, I just want to give you a brief idea about what IPs are with this animation. I hope you will be able to see this.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am.
yes,
Yes, ma'am. It's visible, but it is not in the presentation mode.
it is not in presentation mode.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
how will I make it? It's full
Yes, ma'am.
full
You just
screen.
full screen. You can share the full screen, ma'am. Otherwise, maybe you have shared the window. Instead of that, if you share the full screen, then it will be visible.
Okay. Share. Well, yeah, screen is shared, it is told.
Okay, ma'am. Let's proceed.
Okay, just see once if it is coming. Whole screen, not it's not coming. Full screen.
No, ma'am. It's not coming.
Okay. Let it be for the moment.
Okay, ma'am. Let it be like this. It's
Mhm.
visible only. No,
Mhm.
no issues. You can proceed, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, you can proceed, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if you could see the animation or not, but can you see the slides clearly, full screen?
Yeah, ma'am. Now it is visible.
Visible, no? Probably the
Yes,
animation had some issues. Very good morning to all of you. Hope all of you can hear me clearly and see my slides. I'm told that most of you are students and there are some faculty members also. And this is a science and engineering college. And also there are arts students also. Science and arts college, sorry. And I hope the content you will find relevant. In the light of the new education policy, there's so many new things that are coming into our education scenario. And innovation is one such element that government wishes us all to get introduced to and identify with. So it's a very relevant subject, and role of research and innovation in higher education is very important, which nobody can deny. Let us start with, if you have any questions, you can give me in the chat, or you can ask me at the last end of this session. So the basic thing we should start with, let us so we can see that sorry ma'am, some background noise is still coming on. It's distracting me. Hope all of you have muted.
Yes, ma'am. Now you can proceed, ma'am. It's locked. The meeting is locked, ma'am.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Okay. Yes, yes. So as I was telling that in the history of civilization, if we look it closely, we will see that a lot of application of imagination and innovation and creativity has been done in order to solve problems besides expressing our thoughts. So if we start from Chinese abacus till the semiconductors and drugs, even for the COVID vaccine that we had been using, it's the creator's imagination which has enabled humanity to advance to the level of technological progress that we are enjoying at the moment. So what it has what has come through all this process is nothing but the intellectual property. The intellectual property is the creation of human mind in the form of inventions, paintings, and other works that the human brain has created. And to protect such creations of human mind, there are certain tools called IPR rights, which are in place in each and every country. And that's why these are territorial in nature. What I mean to assert here is that intellectual, there's a property. If you are doing parallels with any such property, tangible property that we look into, like a car or a piece of land, if there's a property, then you have to have a right over it so that you can use it or do some economic activity, or get benefited out of it. Similarly, intellectual properties are also kind of properties through which we can get benefited economically. But to properly get the return out of such properties, we need to have some safeguards. We need to have some tools which will ensure that we get fair return from our creativity. And these are the IPR tools. And these are territorial in nature. Territorial means if I want to assert my right, execute my right in India, I need to have the rights in India. If I want to execute my rights in US, then I need to have the IPR rights granted in US. So these are territorial in nature. So when we talk about rights, basically we talk about the literary, artistic, and scientific works which have been protected through copyrights. We also talk about inventions which we protect through patents. We talk about industrial designs where the outer look of products are protected. We talk about performing rights of performers, broadcasters. We also talk about trademarks, which actually act as a connecting link between the consumers and the products. We talk about unfair competition, where this kind of tools help us avoid unfair competition. And all these rights put together actually help a country to progress economically and help its creators to get fair revenue, and in a way encourage the creative talents in the country. So the basic IPR tools can be defined under this following heads: copyrights, trademarks, geographic indications, designs, patents, semiconductor layout, trade secrets, and plant varieties. Copyright is exclusive right given for expression of creative works. It may include a novel, it may include a painting, it may include cinematographic works. There are so many different types of copyrights that exist, and the protection term is also different as per the type of copyright. Like literary works, this is the life of the creator plus 60 years. Then we have the musical works, sound recordings, cinematographic films. So everything is as per the statute given in the constitution. Again, we have a trademark, as I already discussed. It's a name, word, symbol, numeral, which connects the enterprise with the product that it produces. For example, Coca-Cola, you can identify the product with this labeling of this symbol. Then you have NGM, you have NASA. All these logos basically are nothing but the trademarks of those companies. And all these IPRs have a fixed time period. Like trademark has 10 years, which can be definitely renewed. But for case of patents, which we'll be taking later, it's for 20 years. Some of them are not renewable. What kind of trademarks can be protected, what not, we can take up in a discussion. So how to know if a trademark is registered? If a TM is associated with a trademark, then you can assume that this is a applied trademark yet to get registration. And R with a circle means a registered trademark. For a patent, we actually term it as a technical solution to a technical problem, which is having a scope of commercialization. So patent rights protect something which is new, non-obvious, and capable of industrial application. And it gives a monopoly right to the inventor for 20 years, during which he can make use of this technical innovation and earn economically by licensing it or giving assignment. But there are certain non-patentable inventions also, like if an invention is there, it looks very promising, but even then it can be non-patentable as per the law of the land. Like the method of treatment of humans and animal, these are not patentable, even if these are promising, but the method cannot be patented. Again, there are certain inventions which can cause serious prejudice to human, animal, and plant life. These are also non-patentable. Computer programs per se are not patentable. All such non-patentable items are given in the Section 3 of Indian Patent Act 1970. If we wish to have something for patenting, we can have a look into this list of what cannot be patented. Some of the very common things that we look around which are patented are, the most important is the indelible ink. There are also provisions of protecting integrated IC layouts. Then comes the design. What I had been telling in the initial things, slides, that outer look of a product can also be protected besides the technical know-how, technical solution that it provides. This outer look may not have any connection with the technical workability or functionality of the product, but this may actually give a very, very strong footing to the product in the market for enhancing its sales. So this can also be protected. If these are very unique and capable of giving you economic return, then you can think of protecting the same under the industrial design. So similarly, like the patents, it should be new, eye-catchy. It should be applicable to any industrial article by industrial process, and it should not contain anything functional, and it should not be artistic work. There is another tool called geographic indications, which actually protects regional products. It can be a process, it can be a product, or it can be a natural or agricultural product. It can be an industrial product also. So this actually gives an identity to the regional products in international market and the national market, so that people can use it for better marketing. Plant varieties give recognition to the unique plant varieties that farmers grow, and actually from the trial and error method they had been cultivating for a long time, they had come up with as a breeder. So this they can register as a new plant variety developed by them and get benefited. There's a traditional knowledge digital library also created by government, which has all the information about the traditional knowledge that our ancestors had created. This is very important because in the patenting system, it is told that nothing related to the traditional knowledge should be patented directly, because then we are actually violating the essence of patenting. Because traditional knowledge is not owned by any single person, but by the community itself. So any new product should not be having a traditional knowledge directly, so that all the credits goes to that single person. There is another aspect called trade secret, which protects the know-how of a product which is not protectable by patenting, or somebody voluntarily wishes to take trade secrets as the protective measure for protecting their essential components in business, like recipes, client details, their experimental results, analysis. And all these things, taking essence from all these IPR tools, Government of India created the National IPR Policy in 2016, so that people can actually identify the importance of IPR in day-to-day system. Education institutes were given some of the roles to play and protect the intellectual properties that are created in their campus. So the major objectives of the IPR policy were outreach and promotion, generation of IPRs, legal and legislative framework, administrative management, commercialization of IPR, enforcement, adjudication, and human capital development. And creating IPR awareness is one of the important aspects that is required by IPR policy. And I'm here actually to make you aware about what IPR and how can we use IPR tools to enhance our knowledge and get benefited. So how can you contribute to IP is to be innovative, to think out of the box, to not buy fake products and produce something which is original. This is our IPR cell. We do a lot of work in the field of IPR. You can visit our IPR cell's webpage and know more about our work. So basically, when we talk about research and innovation, now I have already given an idea about what intellectual property is. Now, when we talk about innovation, then we are talking about this area, which is a common ground of something which is new, which is workable, and which is of some value. Okay, so when you talk about innovation in education institutes, when we talk about research, we actually talk about implementing new ideas. And then we also look into if these ideas can be put to use. And if these ideas are actually new or it has been tried earlier, how different these are from the present contemporary technologies or solutions that are available. And then if we actually can execute the solution in reality and how these are going to impact the society. So if all these things are positive, means if really these are new and these can be executed and actually the value addition that they are going to do is positive to the society, we can actually take this innovation further and think of protecting it. When we come across such innovations, then comes the next question: how do we protect it? Though I had briefly, because I was told that many of you may not be exposed to the IPR tools. I had actually given you a brief idea about the IPR tools, but here now I am taking the topic further practically, where say for example you have an idea. When you were talking, I got to know there's a department of fashion designing, or you may have a department of biotechnology. So you come up something which seemed to you as a new thing, and then you feel that probably it is innovative, and you think also that this may give you some economic leverage, or it may have some market prospects. Then you should try to make it fall, or you may look into how it falls under these three things together. If it is really new, how it is different from the existing forms that are available, and what is the impact that is going to that the technology is going to create, or that work is going to create in the society, if it is a positive impact or not. Now, if you have an innovation and you are sure this is a new innovation, this is a positive innovation, then two things you have is that you can use it either unprotected or you can use it protected for ensuring fair returns. Because you know, if something a property is with you and you have not, say for example a piece of land is with you, you have not registered the piece of land in your name, you have not put a boundary around it, then you may not know at what point of time this property may be misused by anybody. You may come to know about it after some years, and by the time you may lose a lot of benefits or economic returns that should have come to you ideally if you had registered, you had the proof of that property, or you had made an public information or display of the information that this property belongs to you, and anyone wishes to use that should contact you. If you had taken those precautions, probably this would not have happened. Same happens in case of unprotected technologies. If you have a technology, if you have created something new and you have released the same unprotected in the public domain, say for example YouTube or Facebook or any other platform where people can access it, then it may not remain as your own creation, because then it becomes everybody's creation. Like when it's in the public domain, nobody can claim that to be their own, because then the authorship or the inventorship is not asserted there. So ideally, if there's not all the innovations may have market potential, but if you feel that there's an innovation which has a market potential, which can take your business forward, then one should think of protecting it first and then releasing in the market. You can take an example of a brand new launched car. So when there's a new car being launched, a lot of advertisements are done like 6 months ahead, so that people are aware of it launched, so that people can book it if they're interested. But before it is advertised, please check, and I'm sure you will find in most of promising cars, all the designs of the cars are registered so that no two cars can look similar, or if something is innovative, that aspect is not copied by the competitor, so that the competitive edge remains with that company which had invested a lot of time and efforts of its workers and employees and designers for getting that leverage or that edge. So because of that unique design, many of the cars may be selling more than the other. Now, if we talk about innovation, innovation is a continuous process. We cannot say it has a beginning or it has an end, but having said that, it is not necessary that it cannot be done in a strategized manner, because now if you look into the IPR policy or any other highest level policies for educational institutes, even for government institutes, it is slowly channelized in a way that the government institutes become self-sufficient, if not fully, but partially. They are able to generate a amount of revenue so that they can sustain themselves to some extent, and they are not solely dependent on the government funds to survive. And to generate that fund, IPRs are one of the important ways and means. If you want to get an example to relate to, please relate with the current scenario where we are trying to get vaccinated. We are trying to get a chance for the vaccinations. When it was scarce, we were looking into which vaccination would be available. It is co-vaccine or Covishield or any other type. But when we, just giving an example, when it was Covishield first introduced, and it was manufactured in Serum Institute of India, Pune, it was not that it was manufactured in India. It was actually manufactured in Oxford University in collaboration with AstraZeneca, and then it was licensed to the Serum Institute of India, which actually manufactured it for Indian users and buyers. So the researchers in Oxford University must have got the royalty for the innovation they have done. And this royalty is not only benefiting the creators out there, but actually a part of it has gone to the institute. So which is also, it's not that it has created that revenue now, and it will be giving them revenue returns till the vaccine is in market. And I'm sure Oxford will be using it to develop the infrastructure to progress the R&D further, so that in future, if there's a challenge coming in such direction, they can handle it better. So most of the leading universities and institutes in foreign countries are self-sustainable. They are not dependent on government funds to introduce their things, or for the infrastructure requirements. They're not dependent on government. They are self-sufficient, and probably the government of India also wishes us to move in that direction. And the first step being the National IPR policy, which was launched in 2016, which gives clear directives to institutions how they would orient their research work so that they can also think of getting return in future. I have given little overview of what innovation is. So I think you have got an idea. So there are so many schools of thoughts regarding what intellectual capitals are. But I am talking about intellectual property is nothing but intellectual capital, where we are actually talking about knowledge economy, wherein the knowledge is not just for the human enhancement, expansion of knowledge, but also to create capital, economic capital. It helps to develop in the economic development of a country. So we are talking about a term called knowledge economy, where the knowledge is converted to capital. Okay. So intellectual capitals are the knowledge that can be converted into future profits, and comprises resources such as idea, inventions, technologies, designs, processes, and information programs. Intellectual capital is everything that cannot be touched but can earn money for the firm. Intangible resources are those that can generate value in future but have no physical or financial form. Thus, intellectual capital can be defined as the relationship with consumers and partners and innovation efforts, the infrastructure of the firm, and the knowledge and the skill of the members of the organization. Intangible assets or intellectual capital are recognized as the most important assets of many of the world's largest and most powerful organizations. This represents the foundation of the market dominance and continuing profitability. We can relate this part with companies like Apple, where they had, in spite of the fact that a lot of new players have come, the dominance of Apple is still there. With every launch of the new version of Apple iPhones, there's a segment of people who will wait for it eagerly and try to grab that piece of mobile device, because they know that has the most advanced features. It has certain features which are never present in other phones, and there's assurance that with this phone, there's certain features they will be able to execute in future also, certain projects which are otherwise impossible with some phones with other brands. So this is the kind of assurance a brand can give. And Apple, why they could create this brand name? Because they had a very stable and consistent IP asset, and they had been very proactive in protecting their designs and patents, so they could maintain their market dominance. As I had been telling in the earlier slides, patents give you technical solution to technical problem, and this gives the monopoly right to the owner. This means for 20 years, if someone wishes to take the technology forward, they have to take your permission, otherwise they cannot use it. So if, say example, Apple is creating their own R&D, they're having their own R&D, they are having their own, even if it is taking, if someone is interested, they cannot use it without permission of Apple. And I am very sure they will not give permission to any other company to use their technology. I am from a university, from a central university, so I can tell about the research and innovation scenario from my university and the various researches done on the similar universities. So basically, the universities are oriented to do basic research, impart education, and give service to the society. But now this model has evolved. Now the government is expecting universities to play a major role in economic development process. And that's why investment in research, development, and innovation is used for giving value to the intellectual property as a key factor for determining long-term economic benefit. And we find that as a result of good research and innovation, new products and processes come to the market which contribute to the overall well-being of the nation. And that's why with the IPR policy in place, the institutes, the universities are now given the foreground to orient themselves for management of intellectual property and patenting, so that they can actually be ready for any future prospect of getting incentives or releasing their products with a protected shield to the market. And so the most important requirement that was realized was an institutional IPR policy, which most of the institutions in the country do not have. If you look into the IITs, most IITs has, but I cannot say all the IITs have. IISc Bangalore definitely has, and many other institutes have, but not all central universities have, or all the IITs have. So we have like around 20 institutes in our country which has an IPR policy of its own. And it is very important to have an IPR policy of the institute because it gives a direction to the innovators to how to deal with if they want to go ahead with the innovation for patenting, or they want to copyright their work, how to deal about it. And then what will be the impact, means if they have done innovation, if it is commercialized in future, what will be its prospect? If there is a conflict, how this conflict will be resolved. So all those things are very clearly spelled out in an IPR policy. And it is found that mostly companies prefer those institutes which have a very clear policy citing how the conflicts will be taken up, how the royalties will be distributed. So the guidelines are very important for going into ventures. Now, when government actually are thinking about having innovations as a collaborative work with the industry, then actually IPR policy has a lot of role to play. And in this setting, we find that public universities have some limitations because they have a broader stakeholders to cater to. The IPR policy is a little bit less flexible than the private one. The focus for technology transfer is less, and they have more obligations towards catering to the local and regional development through spillovers, and sometimes they have to license agreements to smaller firms, which may end up in less income. But private universities at the moment have a lot of scope because they have a lot of freedom. But at some point of time, they may also have political pressure, like in case of not in case of public universities. Now, when we talk about releasing our innovation to the market and to the society, then technology transfer is a must. Technology transfer should happen. Otherwise, we know that as a university, we are not having the infrastructure to produce the products. We are here to create the technology and innovation, but most of our universities are not the manufacturing hubs. So industry collaboration is so much required so that the technology which is developed actually ends up as a product in the market, because there are a lot of processes from the lab scale to the market scale development that is understood and can be done only by the player which is doing the work for long term in this direction. Now government has allowed startups to operate from its campus, so that bridge can be bridged, that gap can be bridged. But otherwise, collaborative research at the first instance is a good option. But we find that companies are a little reluctant to come and join the universities at the first instance, which actually channelizes many things. So as such, we find that in the process of research and innovation, some of the innovations may come automatically, some of the innovations may be targeted, but if there is something which is very important, that should be protected and allowed to be released in the market. This is about technology. Now, about the creative work, if we have done something very important in the form of creativity, like we have come up with a good manual for doing some work, or we have come with a very good book which can help other people in the field, we can think of publishing that. But in the publishing agreement, we should look into if the rights of the author are not compromised. For that, it's essential that one should copyright that work before negotiating the licensing agreement, and look into if the royalty are properly distributed or not. And for that, one has to understand what things can be copyrighted, what cannot be copyrighted. As per the education institute's stake is there, if there is a work which is in the form of a thesis, and that is actually addressed by some publishing house that this is a very promising work and we want to publish that, then the author should actually contact the authorities for getting the permission. He or she should not directly try to negotiate that, because most of the students and the authors misunderstand the IP terms here. If a thesis or a monograph as a part of the degree is submitted to the university, this is a university's asset. And if there is some economic work to be done in future, publishing is an economic work, because at the end of the day, the book comes out and the royalty is given to the author. Then author may be the creator, but the owner of the work is the university or the institute. So proper permission should be taken, and the negotiation should be done between the university and the publishing house. In the publishing agreement, it should be looked upon that the rights of none of the parties are compromised, and everything should be done in a proper recorded way, so that one can refer to such kind of negotiations in the future events. So by and large, I have covered most of the aspects of the research and innovation in education institutes. Because I was told many of you may not be introduced to the subject, it may be a little bit jumping over the topics, so that most of the things are covered. You may ask me in between if you have something. I have almost covered the presentation. Gayatri ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If anybody has a question.
Yes, ma'am. Now the session is open to the participants. Participants, you can raise your questions and you can clarify your doubts with madam.
Till the students ask me any question, I would also like to put some light into another aspect which generally gets
Yes, ma'am.
overlooked. It is the geographic indications. It may not be output of a university's research, but as per our obligation as an institute to identify the local resources where we can help the economic development of the area, we can actually think about protecting certain regional products, be it manufactured product or natural product. If these are unique and endemic to the place, we can go for GI registration. You must be knowing that a lot of products have now got their place in the National Registry of Geographic Indications. So this registration basically is given to products which are there in that place for a long time, that have a continuous historical presence. These are very unique to the place, and the connection between the product and the geographical area is very strong, so strong that if you dissociate the product from that place, the product may lose its essence. For example, like in our state, we have the orthodox tea, which has got the registration for GI. Also the Muga silk of Assam. So Muga silk of Assam, we had been knowing that this is a unique silk, but we thought that people of Assam thought that, government of Assam thought that it is unique, and there might be buyers outside the state, there might be stakeholders who would like to take this product forward for their own use. So the GI registration was given not only to protect it, but also to give a visibility to this product. Because if you will go outside India, there are a lot of regional products which are labeled and identified as a geographic indications. So protected PGI and PGO. So in European Union, it is like PGI and PGO, protected geographic indications, protected. Similarly, one more is there, and in United States, these are protected not as geographic indications but as certification marks. So when we go to a place, like for example, if I visit France, then I would like to take back some unique products which are only found in that particular locality of France. So if I do not have the local knowledge, I may be fooled, or I might be given something which is not authentic. So at that point of time, I may look into the labels. So labels, certified labels actually help the consumers get the authentic product against the payment that has been made for that particular product. So these are certifications done by government in a way so that only the pure product is received by the consumer. For example, there are certain silks. For example, if you are going to a trade fair and you are going to buy some authentic silk sari, then you will look into the silk mark. But the problem with the Muga was that it was a silk. It's a wild variety of silk. It is unique because if you wash that silk, it doesn't get damaged. It is one of the strongest silks available in the world. And if you will wash it repeatedly, it will actually enhance its sheen, and the life of this silk is 150 years. So almost 3 generations can pass it over down the line as a treasure to their own families. It is done here. So it was required that the uniqueness has to be certified and it has been brought to the market. With the certification, we are hopeful that the world will identify its uniqueness. Similarly, the Orthodox tea of Assam has a lot of actually demand in the market, but the way it is marketed outside the state and the big tea houses do the blending, the authenticity is sometimes lost. So to protect that, GI registration was given to Orthodox tea of Assam. The way we have got GI registration for Darjeeling tea, we means West Bengal has got, so that even 1% adulteration is also not tolerated. Now, if 1% adulteration is also done with Darjeeling tea, means if Darjeeling there is a 100-gram packet, and if even small amount is adulterated, that is also punishable offense if it is provided with evidence. So GI gives a unique protection for keeping the purity of such products intact, so that authenticity of regional products are always maintained. There are so many developing countries in the world which are actually progressing with the strength of their regional products. So this is what government also thought in 1999, and that's why the Geographic Indications Act had been developed and established. And afterwards, in 2004, the first GI was registered. Now we have around 300 registered GIs in the country, and probably you all be knowing that the head office is in Chennai. So all the applications go to the registered office, and then they scrutinize, and then they are published in the Gazette that if it is a registered GI or not. An application is not necessary that it will get registered. It will be scrutinized, examined, and looked into if actually it is suitable for getting the registration or not. One of the states which has got the highest GI is Karnataka, which had been very proactive in bringing out their products which are unique and getting it registered, so that the adulterated counterfeit products can be stopped and the pure products with the uniqueness can be brought into the market. And this label, if properly used, can actually bring a lot of incentives to the producers, because it is seen in the survey that consumers are ready to pay a premium price if they're certified of that authenticity of the product. So it is a way to protect the authenticity of such regional products, where the information may not be available to each and every consumer about the purity. So this is about GI. But as for research and innovation in Education Institute, if we have to see, basically we deal with copyrights, we deal with patents, and also with industrial design, where we talk about the outer look of the product, which has some economic value, like for shape. Like you have so many products which sell because of its shape, including this mouse that I'm using here. When I go for buying a mouse, I may not ask which is the most technologically efficient mouse. I just look into the product and buy it. So there are so many consumer products, like from the wristwatch, the pen, the spectacle frames, the wash basin that we use, which sell because of how they look. And that's why it's very, very important that the outer look, which may not be so much involved into the functionality of the product, but it actually enhances the prospect of the product. So these may be very unique, and that's why this needs to be protected so that others do not copy it. So from pen drive to switches to the fan, the table fan, the other lighting equipment, we see the furnitures, because of the way they look, along with the sturdiness, that's also, but the look they carry actually are the first motivating factor for the consumers to buy them. So these are protected under various brands. If you look into companies like Hawkins, Prestige, the premium line, if you will look into, they are all design registered, industrial design registered, where the outer look of the products are protected. And because of this registration, no one can actually copy that product for the registered term. And that's why this products can progress further for the monopoly they have got in the market. You can see the case of the Titan watches, so many other fast track. It has its own clientele. So these are a very much actually important aspect of any product, not only the technological aspect, but how it looks, the overall getup. These are very, very important. Also, say for example, one product is launched which is very technologically advanced. We had protected that as a patent. We had also looked into how the product will look in future when it is released in the market. When it is progressed from developing the prototype to the actual product, we have actually worked very much into how it looks. We have made it very eye-catchy, very comfortable to use. So that outer look will be protected by industrial design. Now, if you are a new company, you would like yourself to be identified by the consumers directly. So that identification will be made easier by the name or the logo if we have. Now, for example, Philips, when we say the word Philips or the way it is written in the stamped in our products, then it makes our choice easier when we look into the lighting products or any electronic gadget. If it is Philips, then it helps us to make up a decision in our mind that we have to buy that. If we are going for shoes, if it is Bata, then it helps us to take a decision that this shoe will be sturdy enough. It will actually give me service for 1 year at least without getting damaged. It will give me return of the money that I have invested. So that kind of feeling in the mind actually helps the consumer to buy. And if you look into the major clientele or the consumer base, it actually matters actually when all the consumer think in that way, that without trying, if I can trust that company, and that trust is actually cemented by that logo. So we don't have to make too many trials in the shop. We just go for the brand and then buy. If you look into sportswear, we go for Reebok and Nike. So it's the small logo, the small inscription in the t-shirt that actually helps us to take the decision. Even if it is a buy of 3,000, 4,000 rupees, we do not actually take longer to decide if we are going to buy active wear from Nike or Reebok. So these logos are very important. When you buy a mobile phone, you look into the logo if it is a authentic product, because when you are in a market, sometimes you may have this dilemma that you are dealing with a real product or a fake product. Companies are also very conscious. They have also created holograms, many other small security aspects of their logo, so that the fake can be identified from the real one, so that the dedicated clientele is not cheated out from the amount they have invested. They should not feel deprived of the value of the product. That is one aspect. Then say for example, we are dealing with climate change, and a lot of crop varieties are dependent on the temperature. During the flowering stage, if there's a slight change in the temperature that it is usually flowering, then the flowering or the pollination may not properly happen. So to deal with such things, many new varieties might have been developed by the farmers, or say to get a desired effect. Says there is a deficiency of particular vitamin in a particular area, and because of which plant varieties develop enriched with that vitamin, so that with that fruit you can get an additional dose of that vitamin. So these kind of developments actually has an intellectual input of the breeder, of the farmer, who has tried a lot in its trial and error process, so to come up with certain fruits and certain vegetables or certain plant varieties, so that we get a better product. Some pest resistant, stress resistant varieties, some hybrid varieties of fruits and flowers. These also may require protection, so that the farmer who has worked so long to come up with that work is not deprived of the credit that he deserves, and also the economic benefit that he could earn or he will earn in future by trading with that variety. So if someone is requiring that product, he will have to essentially come back to that person. And in that way, a fair return is ensured to the creator or the breeder. And finally, trade secret. So unlike other forms of IPR, there is no registration required. Now, when I was talking about patent, copyright, industrial design, trademark, all these IPR tools requires formalities to be done in the office, wherein if you have an innovation, and as I told, you had looked into various aspects, that if it is new, if it is useful, it is workable, it has a positive impact in society. If you feel all these elements to be present there, then you may think that this is a good innovation, and then you may go for patenting. Means you want to register that innovation under your name, so that if someone requires innovation, then they will come back to you. Or if you want to develop that innovation into a product, you have a solid ground, you have a government proof that this is your innovation. You have not stolen someone else's innovation. So you need to apply in the patent office, and patent office will examine your application, and then they will see if your invention deserves patent or not. So there are a lot of formal procedures to be done, a lot of money to be invested in between every step. Similarly, in copyright also, you have to formally apply to the copyright office, same as for an industrial design office. You have to apply for an industrial design development, apply to trademarks office, so that your trademark is registered in your name, so that tomorrow if your products become very popular, nobody takes a free ride into your trademark. Now there are certain components in a entrepreneurial venture sometimes which may not look patentable, but they are very promising and they are very useful to an entrepreneur to have a competitive edge. For example, this KFC's chicken is very, very popular. We all know, and the recipe is secret. We also know that. But this secret recipe, how the spice, the mix of spice, what are the ingredients, what is the quantity, how it is prepared, how it is distributed, everything is a secret. So this spice mix may not be so inventive that it is qualifies for a patent, but even then it is very important for the company. So in this aspect, they may protect it by their own systems and processes in place, wherein they will guard it probably with a physical isolation of the recipe, or they will make only a few people of their company know that recipe, or they will mix a part of a recipe somewhere, another part in some other place, and then in the third place they will actually mix both the first and the second half and come up with small sachets, ready-made sachets, so that when in the final outlet these are given to the chicken, nobody actually knows what is the content of the premix. So these are the strategies companies try to protect their own informations, and these information at times protected as a trade secrets sometimes become more beneficial to them as compared to patent, because patent after 20 years comes to the public domain. This means Government of India gives the monopoly right to the creator only for 20 years. After 20 years, even if the inventor wants, even if the owner wants to have that protection, they cannot renew that. Government doesn't allow patent to get protected beyond 20 years. After 20 years, it will be a public document. Anybody can use it. Even during the patenting process, before 20 years or so, it is available in the public domain, but nobody can actually use it for economic benefit without the permission of the owner. But after 20 years, there is no permission required. You can work on it, you can enhance that work, or you can recreate that work and gain economically. No permission is required for that. In case of copyright, as I told, it's protecting the creative work, creative expression. So if there's a painting, you can copyright that till you are alive, till plus the 60 years. 60 years plus life of the author is a protection term. So if even if you are dead after 60 years, copyright shall be with you or the society that you had created in your lifetime. And it has to, anyone wishes to work on that creative work has to take permission from you or the society you had created. So J.K. Rowling, you have this Harry Potter series. Can you imagine the kind of wealth she has created if copyright would not have been in place? The books were popular. Even the series of movies that were created based on books were hugely popular. And the kind of investment we have seen in this kind of movies and the kind of popularity they have gained in all the platforms, this must definitely have gone back in a way to the author. So there's a fair return to her. And if you look into the history, what was her economic condition before the books were sold, and now if you look into what she has been into, it's a huge difference. And is everything could have been everything was possible only because she had got a return from the creative input she has done, which was protected by copyright. So her intellectual creativity was fairly given due with the returns from the royalty she has gone for, the licensing she has given, or the assignment she has done to the publishers and the filmmakers that have worked on her work as adaptation. In case of trademarks, unlike patents, are not time bound as such. They are actually, though they have a lifetime of 10 years, but as long as they are in trade, the person is in trade, they can renew it. For example, like we have Tata, which is creating vehicle, some vehicles. So they have probably registered it 20 years back or 50 years back, but they are continually they're renewing that trademark so that whatever new vehicle comes over the regular vehicles they're producing, that can have that logo, so that the buyers can identify them with that product. So this was all about the IPR tools.
Ma'am, thank you.
Okay, Malak, I thought means if the connection was snapped, it looked like the connection I had to again, but am I audible till now?
Yes, ma'am, audible, ma'am, audible.
Oh,
visible, ma'am, okay, visible and audible.
Okay, oh, fine. So if there are questions, please let me know.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Myself, Dr. M. Jayanti from IIC Cell, ma'am. Thank you for your excellent presentation and making us to aware about the patents today. And I have one question, ma'am. Is new idea is patentable or is it required a complete implementation?
Idea as such are not patentable. So if it has to be patented, first of all, patenting is done for a technical solution to a technical problem. The idea, what you mentioned, is for technical problem. If it is, I'm assuming it is a solution to a technical problem. Is it a technical idea? Then you can go for patenting only if you have given a fixed form to that idea. Fixed form, what I mean is that either you have to write down that idea in some form, or you have to make a product out of that form. This means you have to give a tangible idea. Is as such is an intangible thing, but to protect that idea, you have to give it a tangible form. So in case of patent, we actually go for the specification. So there's a provisional specification that you can file in the patent office, describing your idea into some format, in the prescribed format, where you are addressing what was the gap and what gap you are filling up with your idea. With your process or the product, what kind of problem you are handling, what solutions you are providing with your idea. So idea, till it is in your mind, is not protectable. When you give a form, a fixed form to idea, then it is protectable. Same is applicable in case of copyright. If you have a good poem, a story in your mind, till it is in your mind, it is not protectable. When you actually give a form to your thought, say if you have painted it, in the painting is protectable. If you have written that somewhere, that write-up is protectable. If you have taken a photograph, that printed form of the photograph is protectable. If you have danced, you have created a new form of a dance, you have created a new form of dance, you have choreographed a new form of a present performance, dance performance, that then a recorded form of that performance is protectable, of course. Yes, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your clear representation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions? Actually, I don't know if I could impart what I meant, because there's so many things coming in my mind. At the same time, I had to give a connection between what the education institutes should do to channelize their IPR assets, if at all they have created, because IPs sometimes get accidentally created, which if not protected are lost. This means if the idea till it's noble, it's protectable. When this idea is released in the public domain, it becomes unprotectable, because if you have released the idea in public domain, it is no more your idea. You cannot assert the rights over it. So be very careful. If you have something very innovative, very promising, first try to look in if you can protect that, if it is protectable, and then release in the public domain. The first mistake that the innovators do is that if they have a very good solution to some problem, then they will talk over Facebook, they will give interviews, the newspaper channels or the YouTube channels now people have, and then they come for the cells like us for assessing if it is patentable. By then the whole novelty is lost, and the first and foremost requirement for any innovation for protection is a novelty. Only the novelty is in, if the novelty is intact, one can go for protecting it. So novelty is the first and foremost requirement, then the inventive, and then the industrial application. So one should be very careful. If you have something promising, don't release in the public domain at the first instance. See if you have something to be protecting the same in your name, because it will be helping you to gain economically in future. It will help you to identify as the creator of the unique thing. After that, you can go for talking about in the public forums or release in the public domain. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Any more questions?
Good morning, ma'am. Myself, Divya. I have
ma'am, your voice is very low. I am not able to hear your thing. Yes, please. Divya.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please little higher, if you can.
Ma'am, I have one question, ma'am. What
Yes,
are the
please,
scopes for student for arts in IP?
Arts.
Arts. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Arts means in a specific stream?
Ma'am, commerce.
Commerce.
Yes, ma'am.
There are a lot of scopes, to innovate, you need not be a scientist. Okay. There are so many technical problems or day-to-day life problems that you may have faced or suffered, to which you can provide a solution because of the experience you have gained. Okay. For example, say someone in a metropolitan city not having a car must have suffered to go to a place for which somebody had invented Uber or Ola, isn't it? To invent that concept, business concept of Uber and Ola, to have the car at the doorstep with the mobile application, just with a phone call, was somebody's problem at some point of time, that the person did not have a car of his own and he had to go to a place, and he did not want to spare the entire journey by reserving a car, but only for that particular distance he wanted to have the car, he or she. So because of that problem, someone came with the solution. So this is not a technical problem. Somebody with a probably management skills or with a general understanding must have come up with that. And when he has come up with the solution, he wanted to share the solution with the world. So when he developed this business model, then he wanted to identify himself with this business model, so that whenever whoever wants to apply this or want to replicate it, they have to come to that enterprise to get the franchisee. So Ola or Uber, that logo had come. So whenever you feel that you can provide some solution to a problem prevalent in your place, you can form a small startup, you can form a entrepreneur, you can form an enterprise. First go for registration of your trademark, so that if it becomes popular, people can identify you with that solution. For example, very small example I'm saying, in our place there is no tiffin service for the office goers. In Bangalore, Chennai, it is so much available. There are tiffin providers, but they do not directly come to the office, say. Or there are no providers of tiffin to the people who have special needs, like I am a diabetic and at the moment I am in the hospital ICU or in the hospital in some cabin, and I don't have any immediate family to cater to me for the food. Maybe my hospital do not give me specific food, so there should be some tiffin service should for the people with special dietary requirements. So if you have that experience and you can actually do a little research and think of providing such a service to people who are in need, you can form that startup. And with that thing, you should first enroll for registering your logo. And then if you have come up with a manual, say there is a certain way of doing certain things, if you have come up with a step-by-step manual for doing that thing, you can go for copywriting the thing. The second thing is that nowadays a lot of YouTube channels are there. You have seen there are a lot of contents which are copied, and then there might be a lot of, it's not that you have to earn from these things, but you have also to, you have to see that you do not infringe others' right. Sometimes you would be in a soup when somebody puts you an infringement case over you, that you have taken his or her content. So knowledge about IPR is not just enhancing your economic prospect, but also to see how you can avoid innocent infringement. You should, when you write a thesis for humanities, when you write a thesis or a project work, at times there are people who would directly copy something and put it in their research work, which may be required for reference, but also there is a way of putting that thing. If you do not cite the work, if you don't give your own interpretation to that thing you have taken for reference, then it can be a thing of plagiarism, because nowadays online plagiarism testing softwares are also available. So you have to be very sure when you write something. If you're writing a journal, you should be very sure how to cite. If you are an entrepreneur, you should see if your trademark is not conflicting with others. So you have to, when you register your trademark, the trademark office will look into if already there's an enterprise in that name. If you had come up with something very good in literary work, we should copyright it. If you are an artist, you should copyright your work. Okay, and always keep a copy of whatever you create. Now with the advent of internet and so much development done in the online platforms because of the pandemic, we all have graduated from being mere learners and mere users from being content creators. So there's a lot of IP being created in the surrounding without our own knowledge. So that creation should not go untapped. It should not be infringed unknowingly, or somebody if infringes, you should be in a position to tackle that. For that you should know IP a little bit. So try to learn a lot of content in the net, and also as a student you should know the IPR policy of the country. You should read it, and it will give you a lot of idea what the future has in store for us. Like whatever government does, it first writes in the policy. So one should read the IP policy of the country. Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, I'm Gayatri.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
I'm having a question. Ma'am, we are protecting our things with the CC, Creative Commons, right, ma'am? Is there any difference between the IPR and the CC, ma'am? Yeah, there is CC
Creative.
for
Yes,
Creative Commons.
Creative Common is actually what we say. public domain and what we say, and public domain and free access. Actually, whatever is in public domain may not be owned. Okay, it may not have any IP rights associated with it, but Creative Commons, it is giving you the access to use it, but with some licensing protocols. Means you are easy to use it, you are ready to, you are allowed to use it, but you may not be allowed to modify it or again reuse it for your own this one economic benefit. For example, there are a lot of free softwares available in the web, isn't it? We use a lot of free softwares day in and day out for our own work. So we download it from some site, so we are allowed to download it, we are allowed to use it. But but sometimes you may find that there is some requirement that is not fulfilled by the software. But if you will try to, and you may as a programmer may know that how to modify that software so that that lacuna is also filled, but you are not allowed to modify that software. And say for example, you could crack that, you can modify the software also, but that software, if you produce versions or out of that modified this thing and then you try to release in the market as your own work, then also there are restrictions. So you are only allowed to use it with some restriction for your own use. But public domain as such is actually is not owned by anybody. You can use it, you can modify it, whatever you want to do. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, one more question regarding GI, ma'am. Actually, from our Tamil Nadu, you know, Kanjipuram silks is very famous.
Yes.
Ma'am, who is the authority for that GI? For example, if somebody is weaving some silk saree in Kanjipuram, how come it has been given the GI?
A very good question. GI is a unique IP tool which is different from the regular IP tools that we come across. Like for patenting, patent, a single person can be an owner. Say I have created some innovation and I give a technical solution to a technical problem. So I have registered a patent in my name. Tomorrow, if the patent is granted, I am the owner. This means tomorrow, if someone wishes to come for my technology, they have to talk to me. I will decide the terms and conditions of licensing. I will be getting the royalty. Everything will be starting from me and through me. Similarly with copyright, say I have authored something, I have copyrighted it, some publishing house is coming, they are signing the royalty with me, I'm getting the ownership and all the benefits. If it is institute will get. But in case of GI, if you will see, mostly these are traditional products, these are agricultural products, and traditional manufactured products are community products generally. So if we are saying that Kanjipuram sarees, they are very famous, you cannot identify one single person or a single family which can be termed as the creator of Kanjipuram saree, which can then be designated as the owner of the Kanjipuram saree. It's not that one person has invented that saree. It has been the collective contribution and trial and error method of our ancestors who had tried multiple times to come with the perfect saree, the perfect mode of weaving, the best possible way of giving the motifs and colors and everything. So it has been a entire community's effort which has come up in the form of a Kanjipuram saree. Now, when we talk about protecting this Kanjipuram saree from counterfeits, so we go for GI. Now, when it is applied, then comes the question, who will apply for it? Because whoever will apply will eventually become the owner as such, if you compare with the patents or copyright. So here in this case, government has specifically laid down the procedure, and it has also told that who can apply. Here, for GI, it is told that either a government body or a government department or an NGO, a registered NGO in that field, or an organization of the producers, or a collective of people who are associated with that product or the process can go for applying that GI registration. But applicant of the GI doesn't mean he can directly get all the benefits. here the applicant only is the procedural guardian of that GI. Means if it has to be renewed, the applicant have the obligation that he has to do all the procedures. During the grant also, if there is any requirement, clarification, everything the applicant has to do. So I'm not at the moment very clear who is the owner. I have to see the details, but I'm sure it will be some weavers body or some NGO or government body or government authorized some agency who has actually applied for his GI, because GI requires a lot of formal requirements, a lot of specification details has to be given along with the proof of the historical records. So Kanjivaram, how long it had been, what are the historical records? Most of the historical records are the ancient scriptures, the travel records, the travelogues of the people who had documented that Kanjivaram sari was somewhere or the other been there in this place, from here it originated, so that people can connect the sari with that place. So after the GI registration is granted, then the individual practitioners of the sari weaving actually can get registered themselves as authorized users. This is not applicant, but the authorized users. Authorized users, they will apply, they will give their details, how long they had been with this one trade. They will give all the necessary certification for their identification, and essentially they have to be within the boundaries of the of the map that has been given along with the application, because as I told, geographic indications are regional products. So region has to be defined in the map. So every GI registered product is having a map. So if there is a weaver outside that area which is identified as a production hub, he will not be allowed to use that authorized user registration. Actually, authorized user registration, when it is granted to a person, he can legally use that tag, that labeling in his finished products, and along with that authorized registration, there will be a unique identification number for that user. It's like, as every consumer has a unique identification number, so if there is cylinder coming, so we can know from which agency it has been taken. So to have a check into whoever is using that GI registration, all the authorized users, all the players in the trade are given a unique number, whoever applies. Now the law says if you are a producer of that sari, even if you are producing pure sari, without being an authorized user, as a registered authorized user, you cannot use that tag. So you have to be essentially registered authorized user to use that tag in your finished product. And it is not identify himself as the pure producer of that particular product. Am I clear?
Thank you, ma'am. I'm
Yeah.
very clear. Thank you.
Okay,
Valuable information, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. And
Very
unlike,
informative session.
yeah,
Thank you, ma'am.
and unlike other applicants where the applicants can directly benefit, in case of GI, whoever applies is not directly benefited. They are not meant to be directly benefited. That's why the government agencies are only allowed to apply, or the NGOs are directly allowed to apply. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other person? Is there any question
No.
in the chat?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
If not,
Ma'am,
yes.
I myself, Dr. Jayanti, on behalf of
Yes.
IIC and IPR Cell of Congo Arts and Science College, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time from your
Thank you,
busy
ma'am.
schedule to be the guest speaker at our Impact Lecture Series on IPR and its implications in detail, ma'am. Your presence and wise words help to magnify our cause in the best possible way, madam. All thanks to your
Thank you,
enlightened
ma'am.
words that inspired us a lot, and this day becomes really an evergreen day for us. Once again, thanks a lot, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm Gayatri. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. If your action inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, believe you are a leader. Now, I call upon Dr. N. Radhika Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Costume Design and Fashion, to give a brief note on our today's second eminent speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, please. You can proceed.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all. On behalf of the IPR cell at Congo Arts and Science College, I feel it a great honor to introduce our second resource person for the second technical session on IPR sensitization to innovation. I feel elated in presenting a bird's eye view on the profile of Dr. Y. Tyagarajan, sir, member of IEI, IFERP, IEEE, and ISTE, currently acting as head of the department, EEE, and R&D head cum associate professor, Christ College of Engineering and Technology, Puducherry, India. With regard to the professional qualification, he has completed his PhD on analysis on slurry-fed MFC for sustainable energy production and his PG with power electronics and drives as specialization. Further, he has 12 plus years of teaching experience at various institutes. Added to his credit, he was granted with international patent granted on smart self-heating, rechangeable and rechargeable inoculation loop during January 2021. In addition, he has published his patents on a microbial fuel cell with CNT electrodes, a sanitary napkin dispenser, automated hygiene fluid dispensing device, and on lightning arrestor for domestic appliances in IPR Journal, Government of India. Dr. Tyagarajan sir has got his copyright registered on CNT coated stainless steel mesh electrode and alt. He has his contribution in book chapters too by giving his part on solid state air conditioning system using photovoltaic module. He has been invited as guest speakers at various institutions. Talking about his contribution to research and development, he has received a grant from Renewable Energy Agency of Puducherry, a nodal center for MNRE, for establishing Green Energy Club, and has been selected as mentor for CSIR SRTP NEST 2020 and MHRD Government of India initiative during the period June to August 2020. And have also initiated to upload institutional and faculty membership in IST New Delhi, and was selected for the second round in Smart India Hackathon in the year 2019, holding the title on solar pesticide sprayer. He has a strong professional networks and has published in 9 reputed international journals and book proceedings indexed in IEEE, Explore, Springer, Book Series, SCIC, Scopus, and UGC. Added to his excellent, he is a life member in ISTE, Institution of Engineers, member at the Asia Society of Researcher, and have got his membership in IEEE and professional membership in IFERP, fellow member, Solar Energy Society of India, life member IAENG, and senior member the Institute of Research and Doctors, and member Universal Association of Computer and Electronics Engineers, a member also in National Society of Professional Engineers, International Journal of Engineering and Techniques, Hong Kong Chemical, Biological and Environmental Engineering Society, VAST, that is the World Academy of Science, Engineering and Technology, Explore International Research Journal Consortium, International Scientific Academy of Engineering and Technology, and a life member in Indian Science Congress Association, member in Science in Engineering Institute, ISRD, EIS, and has served as NSS volunteer in Unit 13 during the period 2002 to 2006 in Annamalai University, and was a recipient of Annamalai University Best Male NSS Volunteer Award 2004. And I've also received the Best Faculty Award in the year 2019 in Tamil Nadu, India, awarded by the Vasavi International Trust. Further, he has been actively participating as reviewer, an editorial board and technical committee member in more than 30 national and international journals. And he has involved himself in notable academic works too. Beyond his academics, he has delivered motivational speeches for more than 100 students of 12th and 10th standard students in and around Puducherry or Pondicherry. With such a great profile, it's a great moment of pride and pleasure in welcoming Dr. Tyagarajan sir to address the session through virtual mode. Over to you, sir.
Oh my God. Thank you, Dr. Radhika ma'am, for your artistic introduction. Even I have not had time to go through my resume. After your
Thank you, sir. Actually, we have given a only bird's eye view of your profile because we had lots of pages about your profile. Thank you so much, sir.
But now I am thinking that whether I should have given only one page to highlight myself. Okay, anyway, so coming back, so it takes me a immense pleasure to connect you in this virtual platform.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sorry, sir. Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. Please little bit louder, sir.
Ma'am, is it audible now?
Yes, sir.
Just a second. Is it okay now?
So still you have to increase your volume, sir, please.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. So it takes me an immense pleasure to be with you all on this day. And I personally thank the principal and the AC convener, Dr. Jayanti ma'am, for inviting me to share my insights on intellectual property rights. And a happy morning to my young, energetic student participants, professors of today and the tomorrow yet to come. I welcome you on this virtual learning platform again. And before quickly entering into today's session, do anyone give me a small input? What is the special of today? Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I need some feedback from students so that this session might be an interactive session. I hope so. Because you would have got bored. Start from the morning. You are being jammed with many sessions. Is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, sir. Start sharing, sir.
Fine. I'll do it now. Give me a minute, I'll do it now. It's yes. Is it viewable?
No, sir.
Okay.
Now it is viewable, sir.
Is the size okay or shall I go with slideshow
Sir,
mode?
go with full screen mode, sir.
Slideshow mode. Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Exactly. Okay. Okay, sir.
Fine. And dear students, I asked you a question, right? What's the special of today? இன்னைக்கு ஒரு ரொம்ப முக்கியமான நாள்.
International Day of Girl Child.
Excellent, ma'am. And what about guys? உங்களுக்கு தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் தெரியணும். நீங்க தான்
Yes,
எங்களுக்கு
sir.
சொல்லணும். இல்லையா?
Yes, sir.
What?
Exactly.
I didn't get any message in the chat box.
Is everyone there?
Yes, sir. 85 participants are there.
Yeah, ma'am.
And some people are watching in YouTube also, sir.
Yeah, I'm just looking over it also. There are 84, including me. Fine. So I didn't get any message from in the chat box. Okay, let it be. So today is a special day, which is International Girl Child's Day. So, and I wish each and every girl, a woman, for a very best career as well as bright future. So taking this into account, so I have just put forth a slide for you. Is it viewable to you all? Can you able to see the slide changes? Thanks, Rajala. Super. 84 83 பேர்ல ஒரு ஆள் சூப்பரான பதில் சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I don't know who is it. Okay. What about others?
Yes, sir.
Ryan Rose. Yes. Oh, great. Fine. Can you see this? Great. So this is International Girls' Day, a small outlook of it. And the theme of this year is Digital Generation Leads to Our Generation. So I would take up the permission from the principal as well as the convener. Ma'am, can we have a small pledge and then we can start the session?
Sure, sir.
So it will be good as well as might be an encouragement for the students. So I request all of you to take this pledge, but I should hear it. Okay? So let's all join hands to take up this pledge. Yeah, this is pledge. I'll just tell it and then you just repeat it, okay? Is it okay? Hey guys, come on. நான் உங்களை சீக்கிரம் விட்டுறேன், போர் அடிக்க மாட்டேன். Don't worry. Please trust me. I promise you.
Okay, sir.
Shall we take this pledge? Fine. Okay. So we all commit. I could not able to hear. We all commit.
We all commit
To stop
Gender discrimination.
gender discrimination.
We pledge.
Pledge
Work together.
to work together
Protect
to protect
the rights of girl child.
the rights of girl child.
The moment
The moment
a girl child is born,
a girl child is born,
she can grow up,
she can grow up,
be a
be
a scientist,
author,
author,
business leader,
business leader,
lovable mother,
mother,
a respectful teacher,
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 or anything she may choose to be.
or anything
or anything she may choose to be.
We commit in providing her
In providing her
with healthy options,
with
with healthy options,
education,
education,
resources,
and resources
to make her own choices,
to make her own choices
means
means
removing
removing
some of the obstacles
some of the obstacles
she faces.
she faces.
Pledge
Pledge
to empower
to empower
the power of women
the power of women
for
for a
a nation.
empowered nation.
We believe to
We believe to
bring the change,
bring the change
make the change.
and make the change. Thank you.
லவ் யூடா பசங்களா. தேங்க்ஸ் அலாட். தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் யுவர் கோஆபரேஷன். யாரு எவருன்னு தெரியாம ஒரு அசைன்மெண்ட் கொடுக்குறாரு. யூ ஆர் டூயிங் இட் வெரி பர்ஃபெக்ட்லி. தேங்க் யூ ஆல் ஃபார் ஜாயினிங் திஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ ஷால் வி கெட் பேக் இன் டு த செஷன்? செஷனுக்குள்ள போலாமா? ஓகே, தேங்க் யூ. ரொம்ப நேரம் போர் அடிக்க மாட்டேன். கிவ் மீ half an hour, I'll finish it quickly. Okay. Okay, let's start. So I have seen that your institution is conducting a n number of lecture series, And today's main topic was intellectual property. சார் காலையிலேருந்து இதுதான் சார் ஆத்திட்டு இருக்காங்க, நீங்கள் என்ன சார் புதுசாக சொல்ல போகிறீங்க அப்படின்னு நினைக்கலாமல் இருக்கலாம், பரவாயில்ல. ஸோ ஆல்வேஸ் கீப் இன் மைண்ட் தட் வேர் எவர் யூ கோ ஆர் வாட் எவர் யூ சி, நான் பேசுறது புரியுதுல்ல? Can you understand?
Sir.
Can you understand what I speak? நான் பேசுறது புரியுதா?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Why? Because நான் ஒரு அரை மணி நேரம் எடுத்து முடிச்சதுக்கப்புறம் பசங்களா என்ன இருக்கீங்க, நல்லா புரியுதான்னு கேட்டால் சார் நீங்கள் பேசுனீங்களான்னு கேட்பீங்க. ஸோ அதனால தான் then and there I'll be asking you whether you could able to hear me. Clear? Fine. Thank you. Now, so intellectual property rights பற்றி காலையிலேருந்து சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க. Shall I go in bilingual language? அதாவது தமிழும் இங்கிலீஷும் மிக்ஸ் பண்ணி பேசலாமா சார்? அதெல்லாம் இல்லை சார், we need only in English அப்படின்னாலும் I'll go with it. What do you think? Shall I go in bilingual or particularly in English?
So we
Go
don't
in
understand
bilingual.
Tamil.
Oh, you are not interested in Tamil.
We don't understand Tamil, sir.
Okay, no issues. I'll just split into two. 50% English and 50% Tamil. What I tell in Tamil, I just repeat in. Is it okay for you?
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Why? Because since it is an virtual online mode of sharing the ideas, many students from other states are also joining in, and even from other countries, international level, they are joining in. So many could not be aware about Tamil's understanding, not speaking, understanding. So I knew it. I'll just proceed now. So from the morning, you would have started with intellectual property. Why you have to go with these kind of titles? ஏன் வந்து நம்ம இந்த டைட்டில்லாம் படிக்கணும்? நம்மளுக்கே 1000 டைட்டில்ஸ் இருக்கு. And you are since an arts students, what is about IPR? Why I have to care about IPR? அப்படின்லாம் நிறைய questions. You'll be having many questions. இருக்கலாம், இல்லாமல் இருக்கலாம், பட் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுல தப்பு இல்லை. ஸோ intellectual property, it's not a very simple task. Why? Because during this pandemic, you might be aware that many Indian scientists as well as hidden, innovative, talented peoples are coming out. You might would have noticed. நீங்கள் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க, நிறைய பேர் நிறைய ஐடியாஸ் வச்சுட்டு தான் இருந்திருக்காங்க. அது இந்த பேண்டமிக்ல மட்டும்தான் வெளியே வந்திருக்கு. Because in one of the session, this was the speech given by Narendra Modi. You know who is Narendra Modi ji? Who is Narendra Modi?
Prime Minister.
Sandosham. Thank you so much. And one of the session, one of the student told me that President of India, sir. So very good, you are aware about it. Thank you. And he found that this was the progress of nation. And as far as this IPR is concerned, IPR plays a vital role. You can call it as heart for innovations. IPR is the heart for innovation. Why? Because you can take it as health and nature, or even adventures, or organic farmings. Nowadays, it's blooming out, a blooming technology, and as well as energy and environment. So in these cases, you can see that more innovations are getting into it. And in the talk given by Modi ji in an Indian Science Congress held on, as I mentioned there, January, he said that the young generation should innovate, produce, and prosper. So what does it mean, prosper? Which means that you have to think about a new idea, innovations, okay, and you have to bring that idea into a product, that is production, and prosper. What for that idea? It should be useful for the society in a liable manner, that means cost effective manner. So this was the aim, the motto of that Indian Science Congress held in January 2020. And because of this, what happened? And you also know that India is a young nation demographic. because more than 50% of the populations are 35 and below. அதாவது உலகத்தில் இருக்கிற பாப்புலேஷனில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 35 வயசு கம்மியாக இருக்கிறவங்க தான் 50% இருக்காங்களாம். மோரோவர் யூத்ஸ் ஆர் மோர் கிரியேட்டிவ். ஸோ எப்படி கிரியேட்டிவ்னு சொல்கிறாங்க? வை தேர் டெல்லிங் யூத்ஸ் ஆர் கிரியேட்டிவ்? எனி கமெண்ட் ஆன் திஸ்? யூத்ஸ் ஆர் வெரி கிரியேட்டிவ். உங்ககிட்ட ஒரு மொபைல் ஃபோன் கொடுத்தா போதும், எந்த கப்பல்னாலும் விலைக்கு வாங்குவீங்க, எந்த ஏரோப்ளேன்னாலும் அடகு வச்சிடலாம். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரிலாம் உங்களால் செய்ய முடியும். யூ ஹேவ் தோஸ் மச் டேலண்ட்ஸ், டோன்ட் மிஸ்டேக் மீ. ஓகே, ஸோ யூ கேன் see that 35 and above are more youths which are more creative minds are there. So government is looking into channelize the creativity of the innovations coming from youth in a better way. So what happens, so that it can be utilized to create new products to public, so that India becomes strong in taking up new positions. So you can see that there are n number of scientific laboratories which are sponsored by ministry and departments. There are more R&D labs, more than 1,500 in-houses, and 500 MNCs R&D facilities are available, and even more universities have startups, entrepreneurship cells, IPR cells. So this is the footstep kept by India in 2020. So as we move from, so when you look over to Indian வேர்ல்டு எக்கானமி, அதாவது என்ன சொல்கிறாங்கன்னா, முன்னாடி இந்தியா எதை நம்பி இருந்துச்சு, இப்போ இந்தியா எதை நம்பி இருக்கு, அதுதான்ப்பா இந்த ஸ்லைடு. தட் இஸ் த ப்ராக்ரமிக் ஷிஃப்ட். ஹவு இந்தியா வாஸ் BC, or you can take it as a DC, and what is India now? So in the past, in the olden years, or in the olden culture or history, India depend on agriculture was the main economy for our India, the land as well as the labors. Okay, in the past. And in the middle decade, industries came into act, and India turned from agri economy to industrial economy. That's what I'm saying, in the middle past. And due to that industrial economy, what happened? The capital has increased, many machineries have been erected, and the management system has been developed. And now India is begging for the knowledge economy. So what does this knowledge economy means? Knowledge economy na enna? It tells about innovations and applied research, science, technology and IPR. கடைசியா தான் IPR வருது பாருங்க. But for all these to be done, can you able to see my mouse pointer moving? Can you able to see my mouse pointer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So you can see that IPR stands at the last, but if these things to be functioned properly and in a right manner, this IPR plays the role. So that's what I told you in the first year. IPR is the heart of innovation. So from agri economy, there is a vast transfer towards knowledge economy. So that's what teachers are mentoring you as well as insisting you to be skilled enough. படிக்கிறது கம்மியா படி. You improve your talent. What is the talent? That is the knowledge. What is your knowledge? That is innovation. What is your innovation? How to take over it? With the help of science and technology. With the help of science and technology. So that's what we say, that agri society to knowledge society. Basically, when we look into this, there is a vast shift. And you can see that in knowledge economy, what I told earlier, again I'm repeating it, the innovation is the most important thing, which is followed by, or specifically speaking, this is supported by SNT as well IPR. So that is why IPR takes an important position in the knowledge economy. So that is why we are concentrating on IPR. Can you understand why we are and why we have to know about IPR? So SNT, what is SNT? Science and Technology System in India. Science and technology system in India is like 6 wings in a star. 6 wings in a star. What are the 6 wings? It occupies government, it occupies public, it occupies private. Government in the sense the topmost central government S&T departments, central socio-economic and other ministries. So here, when you talk about ministries, a department of Ministry of Promotion and Industry, Ministry of Promotion and Industry is taking vital role in order to create awareness as well as to create sensitization about IPR. And the third part of the government is state government S&T. Coming to on the right hand side of your part, independent research institution, in-house R&D in private industry, S&T non-government organization. What does S&T non-government organization represents? Non-government represents non-government organization enna NGOs avladha or a group of society. So in the, for example, in the pandemic situation, many societies and many volunteering organizations. So நிறைய organization எல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா they have provided many things to the public for the wellness of the public by giving them food as well as safety equipments as well as safety things like mask, sanitizer. நீங்க பார்த்திருப்பீங்க இல்லீங்களா? So அவங்க தான் வந்து non-governmental organizations. I hope this slide you are understood. Now coming back, diving deep into, I'll take you now deep into intellectual property rights. What does it actually means? When we say, normally, when we say if a person is intelligent, hey, அந்த பையன் அந்த பொண்ணு ரொம்ப இன்டெலிஜென்ட், பேரண்ட் டீச்சர்ஸ் மீட்டிங்ல சொல்லுவாங்க ஸ்கூல்ல, உங்க பொண்ணு ரொம்ப இன்டெலிஜென்ட், உங்க பையன் ரொம்ப இன்டெலிஜென்ட். What does mean by intellect? It means the power of mind. So that's, they call it as intellect. Is it clear? Which means that that particular person, X or Y, he or she or her, does the thing in an innovative manner. Or a person who comes up with a new domain related to the work. Or he might be a bigger person who may work for an industry, or he may be a faculty or a professor who might be working for an institution. Whoever it is, if that person is a creative thinker, there comes the intellect. So, if that person is not aware about his own strength, there comes a backlog in taking up his property. So property refers to generally something that can be traded, which has commercial value, where this power of mind is shared. Because of sharing, it becomes a commercial value. Commercial value is KASC. So put together these two, intellect property refers to ideas and creations of the mind having commercial values. So that is the proper definition for intellect property. Guys, you understood, right? So putting together your ideas and creations for a commercial value. Taking your idea, selling it to someone, or taking your idea, selling it, and then getting the value for it. So that you call it as intellect property. And what is rights? So just by putting your ideas and getting the money is not enough. Unless otherwise your idea is copyrighted, that is patented. So that you call it as intellect property rights. So எப்படி நீங்க ஒரு வீடு வாங்குறீங்கன்னா, you will be, if you are buying a house, you will be just going for a normal certification, government certified, that this X person has been purchased this house in the XX amount. So that will be your lifelong security as well as an identity that you are the owner of the house. Similarly, your idea, if you are not exposing it to the government and getting the rights, that paper, your idea will not come out. Which means that your idea will be grabbed or copied or infringed by third person. Is it clear now? So that is what intellectual property rights refers to. So why to get this intellectual property? What are the benefits you get? So the first thing is lucrative. It fetches you a lot of money, gives you recognitions, brings you fame, and on the other hand, your idea as well as your innovation would be a key role to business entities. So what if you are not aware about IP? Pasangla, are you with me? Hey guys, are you with me?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you so much. So if you are not aware about IPR, எனக்கு ஐபி பற்றி தெரியல, ஐ எம் அ லே மேன், எனக்கு ஐபிஆர் பற்றி என்னன்னு தெரியாமல் விட்டுட்டால், ஈவன் தோ இஃப் யூ ஆர் இன்டெலிஜென்ட், ஈவன் தோ இஃப் யூ ஆர் a creative thinker, but you are not aware about IPR, what happens? So what I did is that in the coming slides, I have taken around 5 examples of the great personalities who are not aware about IPR, but they are very genius. So let's look into it. Shall we go? So before that, this is what I told you, lucrative. It fetches you a lot of money, recognition and fame, etc. So when a company with, for example, how to take this golden egg, how to take your IPR, the IPR நான் எப்படி வாங்குறது? According to my perspective, I have just given you 3 points. It's my own words. It's not a copyrighted or an infringed one. All, if you want to be an intellectually proprietorized person, get my words, intellectually proprietoried person, that depends upon your hard work, your creation and your contribution. If all these 3 things are done in a systematic as well as in a timely manner, your idea will be a worthy and a patentable, which means that you will get the certificate from the government. So that's what I want to say. If needed, you can take a screenshot of this and keep. So now coming to the stories of these persons. So what happened? So this is Mr. X. Now we are entering into the examples. Mr. X, he is an entrepreneur. You know what is an entrepreneur? Who develops his own company and X and Y things. Okay. He decided to open a company. So what he did is, he had everything done for the company. Okay. So he had purchased the materials, he had recruited the staffs, X, Y, office, furnitures, everything he made paka. And the only thing left was the name and the logo for the company. He didn't keep the name as well as the logo, so he want to register. This particular man is a fan of the owner of Apple company. Who is the owner of Apple? Owner of Apple company. பசங்களா இருக்கீங்களா? Hey guys, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. நான் ரொம்ப போர் அடிக்கல, முடிச்சிடறேன் சீக்கிரம், சரியா? நீங்க போர் அடிச்சதுன்னா சொல்லுங்க, I'll wind up soon. Okay? I'll give you that option. You can mention it in the chat box. No issues. Okay? But I need some outputs. இல்ல சார், நான் இன்டராக்ட் பண்ணல சார், நீங்க நடத்தி முடிங்கனாலும் I am ready. Shall I go in that manner? Shall I complete all the slides without interacting? No? Okay, fine. Thank you. So, இந்த ஆள் வந்து எல்லாம் பண்ணி முடிச்சிட்டாரு, ஆனா பேரும் வைக்கல, சிம்பிளும் வைக்கல. So what I told you is that he is a fan of Apple company owner Steve Jobs. So what he decided? He decided to use the half cherry logo, Apple logo. It's an half cherry shape. Okay. So I have a logo as well as the name, company name Apple. So he named his company as Apple and used the logo of the original Apple company. So after he started the company, suddenly he received a court order that he has been put under trademark. Note my point, trademark. I'll tell you what is trademark and those things in the coming slides. Okay, that is not doesn't matters, but you have to know if you are not aware about IPR, what happens. So he has received a trademark strike. The court insisted him, Mr. X, immediately you have to change the name and logo, because you are put into trademark infringement. Infringement is punishment. Okay, that punishment the court will decide whether to get imprisonment or whether he has to pay the fine. Then this X person was just bumbling like anything. ஐயோ என்னடா அது, ஒரு பேரையும் ஒரு சிம்பிளையும் தானே போட்டோம், அதுக்கு கோர்ட்ல இருந்து கூப்பிட்டாங்கன்னு he got shivered out. So he don't know what to do. அடுத்த ஆளு, he is Mr. Y. டேய் பிக்சரை பார்க்காதீங்க, எழுதியிருக்கிறத படிங்க, சரியா? ஸோ மிஸ்டர் ஒய் இஸ் அ பக்கா ஆர்டிஸ்ட், சூப்பர் ஆர்டிஸ்ட் அவரு. He made a short film. Okay, and the story was very good, and he finally made the film. The film was based on Indian swords. Okay, and in that film, he wants to add a song. So he added a song from a film, it's Tiger Zindagi, Tiger Zindagi. Okay, from that movie, he just grabbed that song and then he uploaded it. So after he uploaded and the picture, the film was yet to get released, since it is a short film, immediately he received a court petition stating that Mr. Y, you cannot upload the film. Why? Because the song was copyrighted. Guys, the first one was put into trademark strike. The second person was put into copyright strike. Then the third person is an explorer. Explorer in the sense Ulagam Sutrum Valiman. Okay, so he is an explorer and he actually loves to travel all over the country, and he has visited more than 150 countries. While roaming, he found out a land called as Zealandia, and which is a part of Oceania. Oceania or part. So he wanted to patent it. Why? Because patent in the sense something new. அதான் நமக்கு தெரியும். If anything is new, we can patent it. But while patenting, he received a patent strike. Again, Mr. Izzet cannot bumbling like anything. What happened? Why it is not patented? And the fourth one, he is a Gajodhar. He is from Assam, and he sells mangoes. He sold the mangoes, which was being harvested from his own land in the name of Gir Kesar mango, and that fellow was being imprisoned for 1 year, and he was given a penalty of 50,000. Gajodhar was jumping like anything. What to do? Why? Because he has put into geographical indicator tag strike. For all these four problems, the only solution was those fellows have not yet studied or got aware about intellectual property. As said earlier, intellectual property arises from human intellect. These are all the types of IPR. So one fellow was put under trademark, another fellow got into copyright, the third explorer got into patent act, and the last fellow was put into geographical indicator tag. So now let's see what happened. So how they are subcategorized. So you can see on your right hand side, these are things can be protected, and what can be protected I have mentioned it here. Okay, so you can see that in your left hand side I have bifurcated into 4 categories. The name, logo, slogan are protected in the name of trademark. Everything comes under copyright. Intellectual property rights. Okay, and intellectual property rights is divided into these branches. Okay, so name, logo, slogans are put into trademark. Books or any songs or artistic work or any sound recordings are put into copyright, given the name as copyright. If any inventions are there by the mankind, it is called as patent. The protection of goods to a particular region, listen, particular region, place or a country, then that comes under geographical indication tag. Now, without bifurcation, we'll move into trademark. Madam,
Yes, sir.
ma'am, is these slides are covered by the previous expert? Why? Because
Yes, sir. Ma'am also covered, but you give the information in your way, sir. It's not a problem.
it's not a problem. Why? Because same repeating will not be good enough for the students also.
Sir, repetition maybe give so many informations to them also, sir. Maybe they can get some information from that.
If any slides is repeated, you can give me a alert that sir you can skip. Okay. So
Okay,
that
sir. Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So
Thank you.
without conversation, guys, let us enter into the trademark first. So in the 4 examples, X, Y, and Z, who was put into trademark? Can anyone give me an answer? Who was put under Trademark Act? Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. Great. X, who is the fan of Steve Jobs, utilized the name as well as the logo. So that's what I am mentioning here. Trademark refers to symbols. If you are using word, symbol, designs or other devices used to identify the business also. So these all things comes under the trademark. And this trademark registration symbol differs. It has more different identification marks. So when you look over into a product, for example, if you have a term called TM அப்படின்னு இருந்துச்சுன்னா, which means that that particular product or the company has filed for the trademark. Only filed. They have filed for it. They did not get the trademark. புரியுதுங்களா? ஸோ அவங்க என்ன பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, டிஎம் போட்டிருந்து ஏதாவது ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அது என்ன அர்த்தம்னா they have just filed the application for that product, which means that you should not use that particular person's logo or symbol, whatever he has filed the application for. Then next, SM. Usually this SM symbol is used for service mark. Service in the sense, இப்போ நான்வெஜ் சாப்பிடணும் அப்படின்னா you'll be choosing some famous hotels. Okay, and for veg hotels, இப்போ அடையார் A to B, it's a famous hotel, right? So likewise, servicing more the food and the hotel, and the hotel they'll be giving some trademarks. So that those things covers under services. Okay, and registered trademark after your filing the application and after your application has went through all the process, then later the government gives you the symbol of R encircled over it, that you call it as registered trademark symbol. I hope you understand. Now these are all some of the companies who have taken up their registered trademarks. So you can see that McDonald company, you have a symbol here R, which means registered. Then Patanjali, it is also a registered company. And can you tell me what is this right symbol represents which company?
Nike.
Super Achala, Nike, Paka. And for Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola பெரிய ஸ்டோரி இருக்குப்பா. அந்த ஸ்டோரி இப்போ நம்ம பேசணும்னா அதுக்கு டைம் பத்தாது. Why? Because each and every part present in the Coca-Cola were trademarked. ரொம்ப வில்லாதி வில்லனா இருப்பாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். So they have trademarked it, each and every bit present in this Coca-Cola bottles. Not only glass bottles, even the tin bottles also. Now moving over to the next. So as you are one of your student as well as your friend told that symbol of Nike. So this is protected. R symbol போட்டிருக்காங்க பாருங்க. So these are all some of the trademarked companies. Why? Because why are you making this? Yes sir, நான் trademark பண்ணணும். Why? Because you have to get branded. Your product should be branded, as well as it protects from third party to copy yours. உங்களோட காப்பி பண்ணாம protect பண்ணும். அதே மாதிரி it gives you security and assurance to the company. Is it clear? So it gives you protection as well safety. So what happens when a person gives application for the trademark registration, first 18 months, அதே மாதிரி நீங்க அப்ளிகேஷன் கொடுத்த உடனே அப்ளிகேஷன் கொடுத்துட்டோம், ஸோ பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் தட் நன் அதர் கேன் அப்ளை ஃபார் இட் அப்படின்ற கான்செப்ட் கிடையாது. கவர்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் இந்தியா ஹேட் கிவன் a relaxation time, which means a breathing time for that particular X and Y company to take over their application for the next step, that is first 18 months. Before 18 months you have to file for the examination as well as the other process. If not, the third party can claim for that the symbol is for example, if Maggie symbol is copied by Amul can claim after 18 months that this Maggie symbol is ours. So that is an option. So it should be taken care that if it is before 18 months, you will get a symbol called TM. Then after that, that TM symbol will get blocked. You have to go for examination process, and then they will be giving you the symbol called R registered symbol. Is it clear now? So this can be protected for every 10 years and renewed for every 10 years. So I told you that, pathingala, Coca-Cola, each and every part is trademarked. Then you can notice in your right hand side, Orange is a company, multinational company. அவங்க வந்து beverages, they are manufacturing beverages, they are manufacturing electrical appliances, they are manufacturing agro products. So orange TM, which means that their application is under progress. So this TM is valid for 18 months. அவ்வளவுதான். Clear? So the color they have trademarked. Slogan, even the symbol, you can, even the text style also can be trademarked. So these are all the trademarked water bottle companies. I told you that text, Raymond Textile. This is the correct display of Raymond Textile text. So rather, if it is in this model, which means that it is a duplication one. Many use Raymond Textile. Okay, so in the market, many fraudulence are there. They use Raymond Textile. People won't look deeply into the font, the style, what the actual Raymond uses. Is it clear now? So because of that, many people get more share. So this is the actual utilization of the symbol for that particular company. Is it clear, guys? And Kelvin Care, this should be the actual symbol, text, style, as well as the font, as well as the space. But if it is in this mode, this is incorrect usage. Okay, so I told you that. So what is the applicability? What is the use of getting trademarked? So the trademarks can be used, whatever it is, the goods or the container or the wrapper. Okay, so whatever the things, it can be trademarked. Then apart from this, this is the registration procedure. So I told you earlier that application for search, application for registration. So up to this, you'll be given TM. After this 18 months of time period, the TM will get vanished. You have to get through this process and then finally you will receive the certificate. So TM and R. So this is the differences between these two. Now a small quiz time. What is the common between Taj Mahal Palace, Eiffel Tower, Opera and Emperor? Can anyone guess? There is a common, but they are placed in different countries. Okay, so nothing more to go ahead. These all put into trademark. So these Taj Mahal Palace Hotel, Eiffel Tower, Sydney Opera and Empire State buildings are put into trademark. So they are registered for trademark. And yes guys, really not only the design, logo and symbols are protected under trademark, but while seeing to their melange way of constructions, the world buildings are also given the trademarks. Recently, India has got a trademark for Taj Hotel. This is Taj Hotel. You might have aware about this hotel. This is a 114 years old hotel which is located in Mumbai. This has got a trademark sign. This is the first building to get the trademark in India. Is it clear? This is the first building to get the trademark in India. Which means that no other commercialized vendors are eligible or have the rights to utilize this Taj Hotel for any advertisement purpose. If you are aware that opposite to this Taj Hotel, you have a rover, a famous area, a river is there, a rover area. They call it as a rover area. So in order to attract the tourists to this rover area, what they do is they utilize this Taj Hotel photographies in order to make advertisements to grasp more visitors. But after this trademark, these rover area peoples cannot utilize it to accompany the visitors. So as I told you, these are all the buildings which are under trademark. So depending upon their not only logo, name, style or design, else the government as well as the international level of Bureau has given trademark to these constructions, historical constructions. Is it clear, guys? So okay, you won't answer it. Can you answer these questions? Can you have just try? You can post it in the chat box. Can you have a try and post it in the chat box? Hey guys, இருக்கீங்களா? Can you have a try and post it in the chat box? The answer.
Sir, chat disabled.
Chat is
Sorry?
disabled.
Sir, I'll make able, sir. Chat disabled, sir. I'll make able.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Ma'am, is it okay or no need for going for chat? Enabling.
Sir, no problem, sir. Let me do that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Guys, is it enabled now? Any guess for one? The first one. Which of the following is an intellectual property? Original literary work, industrial design, trade of that company.
All the above, sir.
ஆமா.
Super.
All of the above.
The answer for first one is D.
All of the above.
The second one, a company wishes to ensure that no one else can use their logo. What does it comes under?
Trademark.
Great, excellent. A new way to process milk so that there is no fat in any cheese made from it.
D, industrial designs.
Industrial design.
Industrial design. So, shall we look over to the answer? Shall we?
Patent.
Sorry? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, this is the answers. The last one is you told about industrial design. So far, I didn't discuss about industrial design, right? It is totally different. I'll let you know. But congratulations for all the students who entered into this short test. A new way to process milk so that there is no fat in any cheese. What is the answer? C. What is C? Patent. It's a new way, new idea. Is it clear, guys? It's a new idea. Where idea comes into patent. Clear now? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. No more questions. Okay, now let's see about copyright. So as the last speaker would have insisted about copyrights and those things, which means original dramatical, musical and so on, or sound recordings and unique expression of ideas. So it's the original uniqueness of the author's side. Okay, and these are all the things covered under copyright. Okay, then something I got really gains. Okay, thank you. Now, so these are all things happened what is covered by copyrights. Ma'am, how much time I have? It more to have?
Sir, you may take more 20 minutes more, sir.
Only 20
You have
minutes.
20 minutes. Yes, sir.
20 minutes. Okay, ma'am. Okay, I'll finish. I'll try to finish. This is about a dramatical work, cinematographic, sound recording, etc. Then, where to look over into whether your song or your music or your writings are not yet come into act. அதாவது உங்களோட ஐடியாஸ்லாம் இன்னும் யாரும் செய்யல அப்படின்ற எங்க சார் எந்த வெப்சைட்ல நான் போய் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பார்க்கறது அப்படின்னா you have to go into the website called Indian Performing Rights Society Limited. So when you enter this, you can able to search your idea. Just copy paste in frequently answered questions. You can able to get it. Whether your idea has been done, your song has been already reviewed or published, whatever details you'll be getting into it. Okay, and you have a term called WIPO. Nalla gavaninga. You have a term called WIPO. I'll tell you what it is. It is World Intellectual Property Organization. Do not forget, this is the headquarters for all IPR activities. இவங்க தான் நம்மளுக்கு தலை. World Intellectual Property Organization. It is a greater database. Okay, at the last, if time permits, I'll just tell you how to browse your idea, whether it is actually patented or in what status it is. So how to find out, I'll tell you at the last of the session. Okay, now எல்லாரும் ஃபீட்பேக் கொடுக்குறது பார்த்தா நான் சீக்கிரம் முடிக்கணும்னு அர்த்தம். எனக்கு புரியுது. I'll complete it. Please allow me to complete a few more slides. Okay, now, so because of this utilizing the song, the one who told earlier, so we were discussing about four to five examples, right? So in that, one of the person who copied the song, okay, from Tiger Zindagi has been put into copyright because of this, because he is not aware about what to copy and what not to copy it. Is it clear now? Purida? Now, next thing, what is fair use? So you have something to be known. In that copyright, if you copy it, they won't put into infringement, they won't imprison you. In that, you have some kind of criteria are available, what can be taken or how much can be taken from that particular X or Y person. If it is a photo or image, up to 5 works from one author, or 10% of 15 works, whichever is less. If it is a database information, because if suppose you are writing a paper for a journal, you can able to copy 10% or 2500 fields, whichever is less, you can take it out, even though that particular X or Y person has copyrighted his findings. Duration of copyright, so it lasts 50 plus years. That means after your death also it will last. If it is a typographical arrangement, published edition, which means a book or a novel, whatever it is, it will be only for 25 years, and again you have to renew it. If it is a film or sound recording, it is 50 years. So what is the difference between assignment and license? So as I told you earlier, assignment is different, licensing of copyright is different. Assignment in the sense, it doesn't need more ownership properties, whereas license, it requires ownership properties. Okay, so these are all the registration process. You have to file directly, you can enter into IP India website and then you can directly register for it. And what is the penalty? So you will be booked under section 63 as well as 63A. 63 represents if you use it for one time, if you are repeating it again and again, it goes into 63A Act. So this is the website I told you, wipo.int, international, copyright.english. So when you enter into it, you can able to get clarified about the copyrights. Now entering into patents. So what is a patent? So as discussed earlier, in my point of view, I have just framed the work for patent. Patent is a grant which is given for an invention. Okay, it should be an invention, newer one. Okay, by the government, which has been identified by the government to the inventor or his assignee for a limited period. It is valid within the country of grant. உங்களோட இன்வென்ஷனு ஒரு கவர்மெண்ட்ல ஆத்தரைஸ் பண்றாங்க, ஓகேங்களா, and that whole credit goes to you. So that is what you call it as patenting. Is it clear now? The next slide. So because that particular explorer not aware about the patent rights as well as the patent properties, he has been put into infringement act, patent strike. Okay, so patent, making a patent, it should be an invention, it should not be a discovery. Since he had found out a new land, Zealandia, he has put into a patent strike. What is about invention? Inventing new things. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay. Okay. So at last what you get? I told you a certificate from the government of India. So this is a certificate what you will be receiving after going through many criteria as well as many scrutinies. Is it clear? So that the when you apply an idea or when you file a patent, the first thing they will look over to is novelty search. First என்ன பார்ப்பாங்கன்னா novelty search பார்ப்பாங்க. Then later they'll go for inventive steps. What are the steps you have utilized for invention? And the last one, industrial applicability, whether your idea can be commercialized. இது மூணு தான் பார்ப்பாங்க ஒரு இன்வென்ஷனா இருந்தால். So when you innovate or when you come with a new idea, see to this whether you have these three things: novelty, inventive steps, industrial applicability. Okay. So this slide would have madam would have explained in the last speaker would have explained you what are the things are non-patentable. சார் நான் ஒரு ஆட்டோ பம்ப் செய்ய போறேன், நான் ஏடிஎம் மிஷினை திருடுறதுக்கான நல்ல ஒரு சூப்பரான ஒரு டிவைஸ் கண்டுபிடிக்க போறேன்னா it will not be patented. Is it clear? Now, these are the laws for intellectual property. So if you are copying it, you will be put into any one of the law. Patent life cycle. So how it goes. So when if suppose you are filing a patent, first they will be checking the idea, take that idea, go for a basic research, understand the economic importance, how far your idea can be implemented, then go for a prior art search. அப்படின்னா என்னன்றதை சொல்கிறேன். பேசிக் ரிசர்ச்னா சும்மா கூகுளில் உங்கள் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இதே ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் எடுத்துருக்கேன் நான், வியரபிள் ஹெல்த் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் சிஸ்டம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு டாப்பிக்கில் நீங்கள் பண்ணுறீங்கன்னா, இஃப் யூ புட் இட் இன் கூகுள் இட் வில் ஷோ யூ த ரிசல்ட். Always go for Google patent search அப்படின்னு ஒன்று இருக்கு. You go into it, Google patent search, where you may be getting all the relevant things happened in your point of view. Okay, then go for a basic search, identify the importance, how far your idea can be taken into account. Okay, then prior art search. Prior art search na enna, already the people would have done. Okay, the same thing if you are doing it, that is called as prior art search. So this prior art search will help you a lot and lot whether you can proceed for filing a patent. அதான் நம்ம வச்சுக்கோங்க, prior art search தான் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணும். இதுக்கு to file a patent, ஃபைல் பண்ணுறதுக்கு முக்கிய காரணமே இந்த prior art search உங்களை ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப் பண்ணும். Then later goes on with patent drafting, filing, etc. After when you apply it, when you put the application, these are all the things happens for the patent to be granted for you. Okay, so these are the advantages. Priority date, this plays the vital role. Priority date plays the vital role. இதுக்கு ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் இப்போ ஞாபகம் வந்தது. Do you know who is the inventor of telephone? Inventor of telephone. Inventor of telephone. பசங்களாம் காண்ட் ஆயிட்டாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Do you know who is the inventor of telephone? No idea? Okay. ஃபோன் பண்ணா என்ன கேக்குது? ரிங் தான் அடிக்குது. So it might be Graham Bell, right? Okay. அவர் தானே? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. So if Graham Bell had not filed his patent, okay, on the third day, some other X and Y who is from Colombia would have registered the idea of telephone. If he had not patented earlier, today we will not tell or use Graham Bell's name. Okay, so எதுக்கு சொல்ல வரேன்னா, this priority date plays a vital role for your invention, for your patent to be granted. Understood? Right? Next. These are forms required for filing the patent. These are n number of forms are there. So they have less number of time. So I cannot explain you. Please pardon me. If time permits, I'll do it in another day or so. These are all the patent filing fees scheduled for each and every form. So this is the form number and the amount for individual and legal entity represents either an institution, a university, or a startup or an entrepreneur. Okay. So for them the fees is different, and for you the fees is individual. The fees is different. And where can I search? As I told you earlier, to bring over to your idea into an innovative one, these are all the things to be done before you go into patent filing. Okay, these are all the websites, important websites, which is need to be known. And there is a question, sir, I have patented and got granted in India, whether my patent is applicable in other countries? The answer is no. Again, you have to go there, or you have to contact an attorney, you have to file there, and then you have to get a grant. So no patent is global patent. Remember, no patent is a globalized patent. So this is an end boy. We all know that he chessboard, but what he did is he had made an innovative idea where 6 players can play at a stage, which means 3 games can be played in a single board. So this was thing patented, and these are all the criteria. If it is a patent, it is eligible for the 20 years. I'm sorry, validity for 20 years, copyright 60 years even after the death of the author, designs 10 plus 5 years, and logo, trademark, and trade secret. I'll tell you later what is trade secret. Now, geographical indication tag. So because of not knowing this geographical indication tag, Gajodhar, who sold mango, is ordinary mango in the name of Gir Kesar mango. Why? Because Gir Kesar mango is under geographical indication tag. Okay, so that's what this represents, and GI represents geographical indicator tag. ஸோ ரசகுல்லா, இந்த ரசகுல்லாவுக்கு பெரிய சண்டையே வந்துச்சு, எங்களுக்கு தான் உங்களுக்கு தான் சண்டை போட்டாங்க. there are 2 peoples fighting for this rasagula. Okay, so and finally West Bengal won the war that rasagula is from their country. Is it clear? This was the war happened in 2015 between West Bengal as well as Orissa and West Bengal are fighting. எங்களுக்கு தான் ரசகுல்லா அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. But finally the court order came that rasagula belongs to West Bengal, the recipe as well as the shape of rasagula. So for that, Mamata Banerjee has given an greeting to all the peoples of in the Twitter. Okay, and there are how many products? பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 301 products and few more yet to come. So Gujarat Gir Kesar mango. So because of not knowing this, that particular man caught into geographical indication tag strike. Okay, so பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்தியாவில் these are all the indication tags. Many states have many geographical indicator tags. Now trade secrets. Simply to find out Kentucky Fried Chicken, the recipe is being put into trade secret, and the recipe they have kept into a locker. So that is called as trade secret. Even Coca-Cola, even Google search engine, they have kept their algorithms in a safety locker, as well as Coca-Cola has kept their formula in the safety locker. So that is what trade secret refers to. So why should you protect intellectual property? To get a monopoly, legal monopoly in the sense individual, avoid free riding, infringement, and counterfeiting. என்னன்னா உங்களுடைய ஒர்க்கை இன்னொருத்தவங்க எடுத்து பண்றது, நான் தான் பண்ணிட்டு போய் நிற்கிறது. That you called as counterfeiting. Then history of IPR, as I told you earlier, WIPO, which is the head office, which is the headquarters, which is located in Switzerland. So they play the vital role in maintaining all the details related to intellectual property rights. Okay, and they are celebrating the World Intellectual Property on April 26th. Is it clear? And these are all the different acts. So patent as an act, industrial design as act, trademark as an act, geographical indicator as an act. Refreshment, hopefully you won't answer the question, so I will skip away these slides. Okay, Infringement Act. So if you are not aware about
sorry to interrupt you, sir. Please, we want to look on the questions and answers, sir. Please.
Shall I go with the slides, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Please.
Sure, ma'am. Guys, you can attend. If needed, you can put it in the chat box. 85 are there. I know that it might be an appetite for you. Hardly it's 12:30, but kindly adjust for another 10 minutes or so.
So chat is disabled.
Ma'am, can you?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. I am doing.
Yeah, ma'am, please.
Now it is able, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Guys, now it is enabled. Sorry.
Yes, sir, enable.
Okay, ma'am. 1B answer. Excellent. Good try. Sriram, Manasa, and one more. Arshini, great. Manasa, you need feedback link. It will be in the next slide. Don't worry. Jashwant, excellent, good. Saran B. Okay, fine, guys. What about 2? Why an invention should be patented? Answer for 2. Yeah, n number of students are answering. Shiva Balaji, Venkateshwaran, BCom. Great. BCom, you have a great opportunity in IP too. Answer for 2. Right or wrong, let it be. Just post it in the chat box. For 2 is B. Okay, good. Great, good. I get more answers and good answers and right answers. I get answer, I get good answer, I get right answers. Excellent. Okay. Shall we move to the next slide? Next part of the question. Okay. You can remember the examples and then you can give the answer for these. 3A, great. Good. Right answer. Excellent. I get n number of replies now. Tariq, are you there? Tariq?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you able to understand the slides? Can you understand what are the things I spoke as well as delivered? Is it okay for you now? Okay, good. Shall we move to the next? Fifth and okay, fine. This is the last question, last 2 questions. Write your answers and keep, and then we can make a check at the last. Ethical values, good. Commercial values, great. Protect the use of information and ideas that are of dash. 5A. C. Social values. Okay, coming back to 6th question. Included in geographical indication goods. Six D. Check it once. 6D. Great. Good. I get more answers and excellent interaction. Shall we check the answers?
Yes, sir.
Great. So many congrats, and I just give a clap for you all for attempting this quiz. Thank you. Shall we move further?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are all the actions taken against infringement. Ryan Rosas, very good. High five. Your high five or just giving a clap? Ryan Rosas. Clap பண்றீங்களா? High five. I think everyone are put under mute, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's why they are not able to answer me. Okay, ma'am. Fine. So these are all the infringement acts, and one of the 2 well-known personalities, Apple and HTC, still அவங்களுடைய கதை வந்து ஒரு தொடர் கதையா இருக்குது. So they have many patent infringements filed ஆப்பிள் 2 ஃபைல் பண்ணாங்கன்னா அதுக்கு அப்படியே ஆப்போசிட் HTC 2 ஃபைல் பண்றாங்க. So there are n number of infringement court cases are going on. Appeals, many appeals are there between these two guys. And at one moment, Steve Jobs, the owner of Apple, told that அதாவது கூச்சமே இல்லாமல் என்ன சொன்னார்னா, எங்கெல்லாம் பார்த்து காப்பி அடிக்காதீங்க, அடுத்தவங்க கிட்ட இருந்து ஆட்டையை போடாதீங்க அப்படின்றத சொல்லியிருக்காரு. The competition is healthy, but competitors should create their own original technology, not steal ours. அதுதான் அவர் சொல்லியிருக்காரு. So this is a thing going on still now. And the Adidas, the socks company, one fellow utilized this and he was caught and he paid 15 lakhs to Adidas. Okay. So these are all one kind of earning. So when your idea is being used by the third party, immediately you will be granted if you notice that that person or X or Y, whatever it is, they are utilizing your product or your idea. So the court will immediately give you an order, either imprisonment to the opposite party or refund the amount. So these are all the things happen. And career opportunities. So sir, we are from arts domain, why we have to go with IPR? அப்படின்னு மட்டும் தயவு செய்து நினைக்காதீங்க. You have n number of opportunities, so that only I have given the red marking. Science, commerce, humanities, forget about engineering, medicine, dentistry. They will be focusing on a particular area, particular task, but you are all rounders. See to it. Even though I am from an engineering background, you are all rounders. See that your role is required in each and every task. Listen, this is the area, this is the identified core areas, and these are all the roles played by you. புரியுதா என்ன சொல்றேன்னு? இதுதான் உங்களோட ஏரியா. நான் சயின்ஸ் படிக்கிறேன் சார், பிஎஸ்சி சயின்ஸ், எனக்கு என்ன சார் ஐபியில் இதான். நான் காமர்ஸ் சார், இதான் சார். நான் ஜென்ரல் படிக்கிறேன் சார், ஹியூமனிட்டிஸ் ஆர்ட்ஸில், இதுதான் உங்களுக்கு. மேனேஜ்மெண்ட், எக்கனாமிக்ஸ், பேங்கிங், அக்கௌண்டன்சி, சிஎஸ். வாட் இஸ் த சிஎஸ்? கார்பரேட்
secretary.
Excellent. Good. So these are all the things. Design, copyright, everything you play the vital role. What is the salary? உங்களுக்கு என்ன salary தெரியுமா? Starting initial salary 60,000 minimum salary. அதுக்கு என்ன சார் பண்ணணும்? Apart from your syllabus, apart from your curriculum, start from the first year. நீங்க கேட்டு, நீட்டு, ஜெட்டு, பீட்டு, காட்டு, கூட்டு எதுவும் படிக்க வேணாம். Only thing is you study about IPR. Start studying IPR, attend the examination, pass the IPR, get the certificate from the government. College or central university உங்களுக்கு certificate தர மாட்டாங்க. You are a certified personality from government of India. Mark it. Mark my words. அப்படிதான் சொல்லணும், இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்லணும். புரியுதா? So there are n number of sorry. Okay. So there are n number of opportunities are available for arts and science students.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm hearing you.
Okay, sir. Okay. Now it's okay.
Yeah, is it clear? So guys, there are n number of opportunities. Utilize it. ஆர்ட்ஸை ஒரு பாகமாக வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஐபி பற்றி படிங்க. நிறைய வாண்டட்ஸ் இருக்கு. கம்பெனியில் போயிட்டு 4 பேர்கிட்ட நீங்கள் கஷ்டப்படுறதுக்கு நீங்கள் தான் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஆஃபீஸ், உங்களுக்கு ஒரு சேர், சுத்திர சேர்லேயே உட்காந்து நீங்கள் வேலை பார்க்கலாம், அலாங் வித் ஏர் கண்டிஷனர். கிளியர் கைஸ்? ஸோ திங்க் ஓவர் இட். அறிவாளி தான் இதை படிக்க முடியுமா? நோ. ஈவன் அ முட்டாள் கேன் ஸ்டடி. ஈவன் அ லோ கிரேடட் பர்சனாலிட்டி கேன் ஸ்டடி ஐபி. இஸ் இட் கிளியர் கைஸ்? புரியுதா?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So these are all the other careers in depth. அதாவது ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்காக போகணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, அதுதான் இன்டெப்த்தாக எங்கெங்கே உங்களுடைய பார்ட் ப்ளே பண்ணுவீங்க. பேட்டன்டபிலிட்டி சர்ச்சில் ஆரம்பித்து டெக்னாலஜி லேண்ட்ஸ்கேப், நீங்கள் இந்த மாதிரி தான் போய் ஆகணும், உங்கள் கம்பெனி இந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு முடிவு பண்ணுறவங்களே நீங்கள் தான்டா. ஸோ தட் இஸ் கால்ட் பேட்டன் அனாலிட்டிக்ஸ். ஸோ யோர் ரோல் பிளேஸ் அ வைட்டல் ரோல் ஹியர். ஓகே, for that you have to take the examinations. Yearly twice conduct பண்றாங்க. Frequently visit the website of IP India. You can get the details. You can get the notes at free of cost. There are n number of lecture series available for patent exam alone. This will be the paper. There are two papers, paper 1, paper 2 இருக்கும். So part A1, A2, part B. Part A comprises 40 marks, part B 60 marks. உங்களுக்கு ஈஸி தான். 8 subjective type questions of 10 marks each, 6 question தான் ஆன்சர் பண்ணணும். ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ பேரண்ட் எக்ஸாமினேஷனுடைய பேட்டன்ட் இப்படி தான் இருக்கும். அண்ட் பேப்பர் 2 உடைய பேட்டன்ட் இப்படி தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ திஸ் பேப்பர் 2 பிளேஸ் அ வைட்டல் ரோல். அதாவது ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்காக இருக்கும். இட் வில் பி ரிலேட்டட் டு யோர் ஏரியா. ஸோ ஆஸ் ஃபார் யுவர் நெட் எக்ஸாம், நீட் எக்ஸாம்ஸ் ஆர் கன்சர்ன், சரிங்களா? அது மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ இட்ஸ் வெரி ஈஸி. இது ரொம்ப டிஃபிகல்ட் கிடையாது. நோ மேத்தமெட்டிக்கல் கால்குலேஷன்ஸ் ரெக்வயர்டு. ஒன்லி திங் இஸ் ரிமெம்பரன்ஸ். செக்ஷன் ஏ எதுக்கு, செக்ஷன் 1 எதுக்கு, செக்ஷன் 5 எதுக்கு அப்படின்னு நீங்கள் படித்தா போதும். யூ கேன் ஈஸிலி கெட் த்ரூ த எக்ஸாம். ஸோ தீஸ் ஆர் ஆல் த வேரியஸ் லிங்க்ஸ் அவைலபிள், யூஸ்ஃபுல் லிங்க்ஸ். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் த ரெஃபரன்ஸ் ஐ ஹவ் டேக்கன். இந்த புக்கு தான் நான் ரெஃபரன்ஸ் எடுத்தேன். ஏன்னா நான் இந்த புக்கை நான் இப்போ போடலைன்னா என்னை ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க வேறு யாராச்சும் எக்ஸ் ஆர் ஒய் மே immediately send me tomorrow morning a court order with manja color paper denoting that I have infringed their ideas as well as their content. Okay guys, fine. And the conclusion, create yourself, do not use X or Y papers, no comparison, technology, creator easy, made easy, the job of copier so easy. இதுக்கு அர்த்தம் உங்களுக்கு புரியும் நினைக்கிறேன். You can understand this. Creators technological advancement made the job of the creator easy. It also made the job of the copier so easy. So நம்ம CP நல்லா பண்ணுவோம் இல்லையா? I mean copy paste. So one of the biggest that a country avails in that innovators and inventors. So India ranks 40th. Out of 53 countries, India is in the 40th place. But now in the 21st உடைய ரெக்கார்ட் எடுத்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா India is hiked up to the 40th rank page. So there is a vast increase within 3 to 4 years. In the pandemic, எனக்கு personally it is off ground. I mean, off recordingல சொல்றேன். There are many innovators are there. Even a small boy, a kid is an innovator. எல்லாமே இருக்கிறாங்க. But we have forgotten as well as we are put into not identifying those peoples. If we have identified, we have not come into this kind of extraordinary extreme vastness in this pandemic situation. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பேண்டமிக்கே வந்திருக்காது நம்மளுக்கு. ஏன்னா முதல்ல நம்ம ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணல. இப்போ தான் இனோவேஷன் ஸ்டார்ட் அப் ஆண்டர்பிரினர்னு போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க. தட் இஸ் நியர்லி வேஸ்ட். பட் திங் இஸ் தட் ஃப்ரம் நவ் ஆன்வர்ட்ஸ் யூ ஸ்டார்ட் யுவர் வீல். புரியுதா? ஃப்ரம் நவ் ஆன்வர்ட்ஸ் யூ ஸ்டார்ட் யுவர் வீல். So that after 10 years, your children's, your grandchildren's will live a peaceful life. Okay, so thank you all for your patient listening. Eat healthy and stay safe. Obey your parents. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. As we come to close of our section, now I invite Dr. N. Radhika Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Costume Design and Fashion, to deliver a vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. A very great good afternoon to one and all. On behalf of Institution Innovation Council in association with IPR Cell at Congo Arts and Science College, I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks on MHRD's Innovation Cell and AICT sponsored Impact Series Session 2 on IPR Innovation and Sustainability. We would like to take this opportunity to place on record a heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Correspondent, Thiru K. Palanisamy Avargal, and to our beloved Principal, Dr. N. Raman Sir, for being the catalyst that stimulates us to do our best and standing as pillars of strength. With a deep sense of appreciation, we thank you both for your valuable support and guidance in all our endeavors. We would like to express our profound sense of gratitude to Dr. M. Jayanti Ma'am, IIC President, and to Dr. J. Gayatri Ma'am, IPR Cell Coordinator of Congo Arts and Science College, for taking pains and efforts in organizing such a significant session on IPR innovation and sustainability. We must mention our deep sense of appreciation to Dr. Jury Borbara Sakya ma'am, Research Officer, Tezpur University, Assam, for delivering all her words of wisdom on role of IPR in research and innovation. Thank you, ma'am, for joining with us today. With great sense of gratitude, we owe a special thanks to Dr. Y. Tyagarajan sir, Associate Professor cum Head, Christ College of Engineering and Technology, Puducherry, for sharing his knowledge and expertise on IPR sensitization to innovation. Thank you, sir, for joining this session through virtual mode. Thank you, sir. Special thanks are due to my fellow colleagues who are aware of their task and are very concerned about the results. The purpose remains incomplete without expressing our gratitude to our dear students for extending their cooperation towards participating in this program and for their patient listening, and to all the head of the departments of various disciplines and faculty members from various disciplines. A heartfelt thanks are due to technicians, volunteers, non-teaching staff, and to all unified arms at this juncture of success. By wishing you all joy, success, and happiness in all your future endeavors, we thank you all once again. Thank you.
Dear participants, we request you all to submit the feedback form that is posted in chat box.
Ma'am, any queries? Or shall I leave?
Sir, you may leave the meet, sir. There is no queries, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining, sir.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Dr. Jury ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Wonderful session. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank
I'll
you.
call you, ma'am.